I'm sorry you mentioned it.
Honey, you're letting in too much air.
How can I tell if I'm in the air?
Well, how's the patient?
She's got something. One of her glands is swollen.
Well, I don't know what you were saying, but I'll defend to the death your right to say it.
I'll bet $1 million it isn't 1 point over 98.2.
It's 99.8.
Pay up.
Ha ha.
You have to stay home today, young lady.
Mom, I can't stay home.
I'm sorry, dear. There are just too many things going around. I'm going to call the doctor.
Oh, Mom, 99.8 isn't even a temperature. You'll laugh. Mom, maybe I'm just more warm-blooded than the average person. This is a disaster. I can't afford to miss school today, Papa.
You got a test?
No, but I have a dramatic club rehearsal and a meeting with the dance committee at lunchtime, and somewhere I've got to squeeze in my debating team partner.
And that's all?
Yeah, except for the jazz concert Richard's going to take me to tonight. So you see, Papa, I just can't afford to miss school today. Please explain that to Mom.
Well, your mother'd be a lot more sympathetic if you were worried about missing history, math, and English.
Papa, I don't have to worry about history, math, and English. They'll still be there when I get back.
Everywhere from Zanzibar.
Yes, dear. Yes?
Mom, do you suppose I could come down and watch some television?
Oh, you know what the doctor said, dear. You're to stay in bed until he gets here.
Oh, that won't be until this afternoon.
Well, that's when he makes his house calls, if there's no emergency. Well, if you'll excuse me, honey, I've got a lot to do.
Mom?
Yes?
Could I have a cheese sandwich?
After the big breakfast you had?
That was over an hour ago.
All right.
Mom, if you wouldn't mind another pillow, please.
Oh, sure.
Thanks, Mom. You're an angel of mercy. Mom, you may as well go all the way. Why don't you make one of those great grilled cheese sandwiches with ham and tomato and a little Worcestershire sauce? You know those special ones? And some milk, naturally.
Naturally. Anything else?
Yeah, some olives.
Is that all?
Oh, yeah. I don't want to be any trouble, Mom. Mom!
Yes?
I forgot to ask you something!
What is it?
I don't want to yell. It might hurt my throat.
Okay, I'm coming.
Mom, do you think it would be all right if I used the phone?
I really think it would be better if you just rested. And besides, who are you going to call, dear? Everybody's in school.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
If you'll excuse me, honey, I really have got an awful lot to do.
I know. Why don't you take my temperature again?
I really don't think it's necessary.
I know. I'll take my pulse.
Do that.
Oh, no!
Patty! What is it?
My nail is chipped. Mom, would you get me the nail file, please? Thanks, Mom.
Patty, why don't you make some phone calls?
But you said nobody'd be home. Doris Hartley's home with a broken leg.
Wonderful.
may I talk to Doris, please? In school? What about a broken leg? Oh, yeah, I guess 2 months is plenty of time for a broken leg to heal. So, what's new, Mrs. Hartley? The house must seem pretty empty without Doris around, huh? I got you out of where? Oh, well, you better put something on. You'll catch your death of cold, and then the house really will be empty. Hello? Boy, what a grouch. Hello, is this Brooklyn Heights High School? Is this the secretary? Hi, I wonder if you'd do me a very large favor. Is the absentee list made up yet? Oh, good. Would you read it to me? No particular reason. I just want to see who's available for some phone calls. Me, I am, let's just say I'm a community-minded citizen who makes a hobby out of calling shut-ins. You're not allowed to give out students' phone numbers? I'll tell you what. Why don't you give me the numbers without the names? Hello? That'd be something nice.
Natalie? So what's been going on around there? I've been trying to reach you for an hour.
I let Patty make some phone calls just to occupy herself.
Well, who's she been calling? Aren't all her friends in school?
Did you ever hear of the classified phone book? She's been poring over it like it was the Book of the Month Club selection.
In other words, she's feeling pretty good.
She's fine. Now ask me how I am.
Well, you were the one who insisted that she stay home.
Yeah. Honey, I haven't got any more time to talk to you. I've been trying to get the breakfast dishes done for the last 3 hours. But thanks for calling. It's good to talk to somebody without climbing the stairs. Bye, dear.
Goodbye.
Mom!
Yes?
Can I get up for a minute just to get something from my dresser?
Can it wait until I get there?
No, it's vitally important.
I'll be up in a minute.
Oh, Mom! Can I have an apple as long as you're coming up?
I am up.
Mom, there must be something wrong with this electric clock.
Why?
Because it only says 5 after 11.
Well, that's the right time. What'd you want?
My makeup tray inside. Boy, time certainly drags when you're home in bed.
Certainly does.
Mom, can I have some tissues over there? I thought we blew a fuse.
Not yet.
Oh, I guess I'll need my pencil sharpener for my eyebrow pencil. It's right there on the desk. Oh, and Mom, can I have the mirror over there on the dresser? Thank you.
What's all this for?
Well, I have to do something to keep me from going wiggy. Mom, are you sure we can't get the doctor here any earlier?
I told you he just doesn't consider this an emergency. That lot he knows.
Mom? There's no rush about the apple. Anytime you happen to be coming back upstairs.
I have a feeling it'll be soon. Here's your apple, dear, and I brought a few other things for the rest of the afternoon so I won't be... What are you doing covered up? What have you done to yourself?
It's the newest look. The magazine says it's going to be very big this year.
Where, in Hong Kong?
Look, this article says makeup can uncover your secret self. What do you think?
I think you should put the cover back on. I'll get you a washcloth. I think you're beautiful. All right, honey, here's a washcloth. Now get all that stuff up.
All for one and one for all. I'm just trying to keep my mind occupied.
Well, I don't suppose you'd consider doing a little schoolwork.
In my condition?
Scrub up.
The bill will pay.
Hi, honey. No. You're not interrupting.
I just wanted to get your advice, Martin. Do you think it would be all right if Bob Holton came over to visit Patty? He's the president of the Dramatic Club.
Well, I really don't know.
It's just that she's anxious to find out what happened at the rehearsal, and frankly, I don't know what to say. What do you think?
Why don't you check the doctor?
He already left the office. She seems in very good spirits. And frankly, I'd welcome anything that would occupy her.
Well,
Well, I just wanted to get your opinion. Thanks, dear.
anytime.
Well, how'd it go?
Well, what can I tell you, Patty? Without you, the rehearsal was a shambles, an absolute shambles.
Oh, gee, that's too bad.
Oh, try to get those kids quiet. I'm president of the club, and I'm playing the king. And they still wouldn't listen to me. Now, how can you do a play like St. Joan with everybody horsing around? Let's face it, nobody can keep those kids as quiet as you can.
Well, Bob.
Nobody can yell as loud as you can. I have to watch my voice. Well, soon, Patty.
I'm fine. Really fine.
Those are glazed fruit.
Glazed fruits, just what I love. You want one?
Hate him.
How about some nuts or stuffed dates or fruit or candy?
No, thanks.
What's in that box?
Forgot. It's the St. Joan wig.
Ooh,
I want you to try it on.
okay.
You should have heard Gloria Peterson reading your part. It was really something else.
Is she really that bad?
Listen, you know in the play where I say, preposterous that this frail little girl should lead the armies of France.
Yeah.
It's preposterous, all right. She's 2 feet taller than me. Don't move. Don't move.
What is it, a bee?
You are she.
Who?
You are St. Joan. Listen, do you feel up to a little rehearsing?
I feel fine. Now, why don't we do the scene where the king comes to visit Joan in her cell?
Good idea. We haven't gotten to the meat of that scene yet.
I think we've gotten to the ham.
Please be serious.
Yeah, sorry about that. Okay, I start, right? The king flatters me by his presence.
Wait a minute.
What's the matter?
Give me a chance to get into the mood. I can't become a cruel tyrant like that.
I'm sorry.
I'm a bitter old man. Old before my time. Life is cruel. I'm unloved, despised, not well liked.
What play is that?
Now you broke the mood.
I'm sorry.
All right. Well, that's the cell door. I'm just coming in. You are the king of France, even if you are bitter and old, hated and despised by friend and foe alike. But why are you hated and despised? Because you're rotten, because you're cruel, because you treat everybody for the bitter. Isn't there a true heart of gold out in the human being?
Bob? Bob? Bob, I think you went in the wrong cell!
Who's that?
Bob. He's my leading man in the play. Where'd he go?
At the front door. Hey, do you think you'll be okay without a keeper?
Ho, ho, ho. What do you want?
Freddie Marshall's here, and in case you don't feel well enough to see him, he sent these up. And just after dinner mints.
Of course I feel well enough to see him. I have to talk to him about that speech for the debate. Hello? I got it, Mom. Oh, hi, Emma. How'd it go? Oh, you need my opinion, huh? Well, look, Freddie's here now, and Bob just left, and I doubt if he'll ever be back. Why don't you come by, and we'll talk about the dance committee in about a half hour. Okay, bye. Tell Freddie you can come up. You want one? One!
Dear, I just want to warn you, the doctor called. He'll be here at 4 o'clock.
Gee, Mama, I don't think I can work a minute till 4:30. And so I say to you, ladies and gentlemen, that my worthy opponents have utterly and completely failed to show us why the voting age should not be lowered. We of the affirmative, however, have amply demonstrated that today's teenager is fully equipped to take his or her place in the national scene. Yeah. And in conclusion, let me just say this. We teenagers are tired of being future citizens. We want to contribute here and now and not in the hereafter. I thank you. Hey, that speech is great, Freddie.
Thanks.
Now, what about your speech?
I'm working on it.
Oh, you better get cracking. The debate's Monday.
Hey, do you think you'll be all right by then?
I'm fine now, Freddie. The only reason I stayed home was because my mother insisted.
Nat? What is all this?
What are you doing home so early?
Well, you called and said Patty was giving you such a rough time. I thought maybe I'd come home and help, but it's like a congressman's lobby. What are all these kids doing here?
Oh, they're waiting to see Patty. That's Bob. He's the president of the Dramatic Society. That's the dance committee. Richard, you know. The girl he's talking to is Gloria Peterson.
Who's the man on the phone?
The doctor.
The doctor? You mean you let Patty keep him waiting?
Of course not. He had to call his office. I was just going to go up and tell Patty that he's here and to get rid of Freddie.
Freddie?
Debating team.
Natalie, I don't understand you. I mean, how can you let all these kids come here when Patty is sick?
I asked you and you said it was okay.
Well, you mentioned one, not a whole congregation. Here, put that in the refrigerator, would you?
What is it?
That's some ice cream for Patty. I'm going up and clear out her room. Excuse me, girls. Pardon me, I'm coming through. Excuse me, fellas, I just live here.
You sure you don't want one for the road?
No, thanks. I really got to get going. Besides, it's too close to dinner.
Dinner? It's funny, I'm not even hungry.
So, do you want me to tell the dance committee to come on up?
Nope.
Hi, Papa. This is Freddie Marshall. He was just leaving.
I know he is. When you get downstairs, tell the rest of the group that visiting hours are over.
Oh, but Papa, I haven't seen the dance committee yet. And Richard's here, and I hear Bob got back, and Gloria Peterson. Boy, is she gonna be disappointed.
Yeah, well, I'm afraid the doctor takes precedence over all of them.
Oh, is he here already?
Yeah, I'm just going to bring him right up.
Papa, you want a chocolate-covered pretzel?
Lemonade?
I'm a loyal subject of the king. Are you friend or foe? Are you with Joan?
No, I live here. How long is Patty going to be tied up? Till the doctor leaves, I guess.
Stand aside. I must take my leave.
Okay, but you better stop by the gas station and have them tighten your bolts.
Well, you must be a very popular young lady to judge from the number of visitors down there.
That's when she's homesick. You can imagine what it's like around here when she's well.
How's her pulse?
Perfectly normal for a girl her age.
Of course it's normal. I bet my temperature's normal, too.
Patty. Has it gone up?
No, down. It's normal.
See? Can I get up and get dressed?
As far as I'm concerned, you can.
You see, that's what we need in the world. More doctors like you. Mom, would you have...
Nat, you know it couldn't be anything too serious. I mean, she doesn't even have a temperature.
And I say she has.
But you heard the doctor.
Martin, I felt her forehead. Are you going to compare a thermometer with a mother's hands?
Risk being called un-American? Certainly not.
I guess I might as well forget about Patty going to the jazz concert tonight with me, huh?
Oh, I'm afraid so, yeah.
Poor Patty. She used to love jazz.
Richard, if you'd like to run on along home, I'll be happy to phone you later.
You mean you're throwing me out?
No, you can stay if you want to.
I sure would like to hear the doctor's verdict.
What is it?
The worst case of the sweets I've seen in a long time. You turn that candy store back into a bedroom and she'll be fine.
Thank you very much, Doctor. I'll take care of that right away.
You're welcome. Care for a chocolate-covered pretzel?
Thank you, Doctor.
Richard,
Yeah?
I want you to do me a favor.
You name it.
I want you to go to that jazz concert tonight with somebody else.
Oh, nothing doing.
Please, Richard. You can't tie yourself down to me. Not now.
But Patty,
Richard, I'd feel much better if I thought you were having a good time.
what kind of a good time can I have without you? I might as well tear these tickets up.
No, wait. You sure you don't want to go without me?
I'm positive. Besides, who can I get at this late hour?
How about Gloria Peterson?
Patty, in the first place, she's too tall. And in the second place,
Yes.
you break my arm.
You better believe it.
There's only one girl I'm sure would be free now. And that's Dusty Higgins' kid sister. I guess she'd get a big kick out of going with me.
There, she sounds perfect. Why don't you take her?
Well, I don't know, Patty.
Richard, I insist.
But Patty,
Please, Richard. I must rest now.
Oh, sure.
Richard,
Yeah?
you know, I finally understand what Joan means when she says in the play, only through our own suffering can we know the suffering of others. Do you understand?
Yeah. But I don't think the concert's going to be that bad.
You feeling better, honey? I'm glad that you told Richard to go to that concert with somebody else. That was very generous of you.
That's okay, Papa. I didn't see any point in wasting 2 good tickets. And Dusty Higgins' little sister will have a great time. You know, I'll bet it's her first date with a grown man.
Grown man.
Believe me, Papa, to a kid, Richard's a grown man. You know, I can still remember my first date with an older man. Up until then, I guess I had been to 2 Saturday movies with a boy. And one day, out of the clear blue sky, Jack Nordstrom called and asked me to go to the museum. He was ancient. Must have been 15. I almost fell off my shoes.
Patty, Richard's here. He forgot the tickets.
That clunk. Oh, there they are. Would you give them to him, Papa?
Yeah.
Thank you.
I'd forget my head if it wasn't tacked on.
You said it, I didn't.
I'm sorry, Patty, but I gotta go.
Where's Dusty's kid sister?
She's waiting in the car.
Oh, why don't you bring her up? I'm dying to meet her.
Well, I know, Patty. You know how embarrassed she is. I mean, knowing that you're my girlfriend, and, well, you know that whole story.
She must be excited, huh?
Well, you can imagine.
Yeah.
Well, I better get back to the car.
Richard? 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 She must be calling you because my name's Patty.
Huh?
Open the door, Richard.
The door? Oh, yeah, the door. Yeah?
You forgot my present for Patty.
Oh. She didn't know she brought you some candy. Well, I've got a split.
Richard, where are your manners? Ask her to come in.
Patty, it's getting late.
That's ridiculous. Come on in. Hi.
Patty, I would like you to meet Eve, Dusty's kid sister. Eve, I would like you to meet Patty, my friend.
Eve, I'd like you to meet Richard, the rat.
What a crazy pair, but they're cousins, identical cousins, and you'll find they laugh alike, they walk alike, at times they even talk alike. You can lose your mind when cousins are 2 of a kind.
Ralph Gilroy, yes, he's very good looking. Well, he's definitely another possibility. Patty, I don't know what this little tiff between you and Richard is about, but it's not a little tiff, and I really don't want to talk about it. All right. But you've only been not talking for 2 days. Do you think it's a little early to be looking for a replacement? Kathy, this is war. It's never too early to build up your defenses. Besides, Ralph Gilroy really digs me. How do you know? When a boy keeps hitting you and pulling on your hair ribbon, that's a definite sign. Your hair ribbon? Back in elementary school. No matter how many times I kicked him in the shins, he kept pulling on my hair ribbon. And then, one day, it happened. I knew it was love. What happened? He kicked me back. I'd better get dressed. Are you sure you don't want to go to a movie with Freddie and me? Uh-huh. All right, Patty. I understand. After all, Richard might call again, and then you wouldn't be here to refuse his call. Kathy, I assure you I'm above that childishness. Well, perhaps Richard has decided to stop phoning and make a frontal attack. He wouldn't dare. If that's Richard, you can tell him to go jump in a lake. He's all wet anyway. Who was it? Was it Richard?
No, but I think he sent you a box of candy.
You didn't accept it, did you?
Why not?
Well, you can throw it in the garbage can for all I care.
Throw it in the garbage can. When I'm here? Oh, boy. Paul?
Is this 624-1098?
Oh, hi, Richard. This is Ross.
Oh, I thought I had the wrong number.
Hey, Rich, this candy is great.
Candy? What are you talking about?
I'm talking about the candy. You mean somebody else sent this to her?
Ross, would you ask Patty if she'd please come to the telephone?
Sweets to the sweet. Al Cameraman.
What?
Richard, the next time you don't send a box of candy, would you call a guy and let him know?
Meet Kathy, who's lived most everywhere, from Zanzibar to Berkeley Square. But Patty's only seen the sights a girl can see from Brooklyn Heights. What a crazy pair! But they're cousins, identical cousins all the way. One pair of matching bookends, different as night and day.
Where Kathy adores a minuet,
The ballet russe and crepe Suzette. Our Patty loves to rock and roll, the hot dog makes her lose control. What a wild duet, still they're cousins, identical cousins, and you'll find they laugh alike, they walk alike, at times they even talk alike. You can lose your mind when cousins are two of a kind.
Hello?
Hello, Richard? This is Ross.
Ross, can you talk a little louder?
I can't. That's the whole point.
Well, how's Patty?
Well,
Still sore at me, huh?
Rich, will you hold on a second? Patty! Phone! Patty! Phone call! Patty!
I'm coming.
I haven't got all day, will you?
I didn't even hear it ring. Hello?
Oh, boy, is that you, Patty?
Who is this?
It's me, Richard. Hello.
Goodbye.
What'd you do that for?
I told you I didn't want to talk to Richard if he called.
Sure, but he didn't call.
What?
I called him.
You? Yeah, and now he thinks that... Oh, how would you like a knuckle sandwich?
Don't flip your wig. I was just trying to patch things up.
What makes you think I want to be patched? Mom!
Okay, no more Mr. Nice Guy.
What's the matter?
Do you know what your son, the ankle biter, just did? He tricked me into talking to Richard on the phone.
Well, I think that was very sweet of him, and I think you're going to spoil your appetite for dinner.
How can you spoil something that's already spoiled?
Patty, since you haven't seen fit to confide in me, I don't know what this little spat between you and Richard is all about.
It's not a little spat.
No? What is it?
Nothing, Mom.
All right, darling, if you don't want to talk about it, that's up to you.
Where are you going?
Oh, Oh, I've got work to do.
Don't you want to hear what happened between Richard and me?
Well, I'm not going to drag it out of you.
You're not?
Certainly not.
Mom, why don't you sit down and I'll tell you. Remember last week when I had a date with Richard at the Shake Shop? I waited over an hour for him.
He was that late?
He was even later. He never showed up. And then the next day at school, somebody told me they saw him at the library with Cynthia Howard.
I see. Did he have any explanation?
Of course not.
He didn't say anything?
Who knows? I haven't talked to him since.
Well, dear, I don't think that's a very reasonable attitude. Suppose he can explain the whole thing. It might just be a misunderstanding.
You really think so?
Well, you'll never know unless you talk to him.
That's true. Maybe that's him.
I'm sorry, old timer, but all systems are no. Goodbye.
Who was that?
Richard?
Richard!
Yeah, and you saw me, Patty. I hung up on him as fast as I could.
Ross, I could strangle you!
What?
Mom!
9, 12, 15, 16, 17, 19, 25, 30, 34, 36, 39, 42, 47, 49. 4 to carry. 4 and 3 is 7. 1 is 8, 13, 18, 20, 27. Do you want something, honey?
No. How's it all going?
Right now, it's quite a mess.
Well, I won't bother you.
28, 30, 30...
Was that the phone?
No, I think that was the timer going off in the kitchen.
Oh.
30,
Well, I really don't want to bother you.
4 and 3 is 7. 1 is 8, 13, 18, 27, 28, 37, 44, 52, 59...
Dear, may I interrupt?
Just a minute, honey. 59, 66, 74, 74 and 6 is 80, and 9 is 89, and... is it really that important?
It's about Patty and Richard.
66, 74, 80.
Martin. Martin, she's just miserable about the whole thing.
If she's so miserable, how come she went out with that cameraman boy the night before last?
That just proves that he's shorter than she is.
Natalie, that doesn't prove anything. Do you remember the 4th of July just before we got married?
When we weren't talking.
That's right. And you thought I was so miserable? Well, I dated Gladys Healy 3 nights in a row just to get even with her.
Martin Lane, you told me you stayed in your room and read poetry.
I did? 4 and 3 is 7. 18, 27, 28, 37, 44, 52, 52 and 7,
Dad,
59.
you busy?
Very. 59.
Well, is it going to be long?
No, I should be through in a couple of years. 59, 66.
Well, all I want is
70
a quick yes or no. It's about getting an advance on my allowance.
72, 78.
I'm willing to pay interest on it.
97 and 7 is 100 and
Well, wouldn't you want a little extra
100,
income?
100 and
I'll wait until you're through.
4 and 3 is 7. 1 is 8. 5 is 13. 13 and 5 is 18. 18 and 9. Ross, would you get that phone, please?
And get my head chopped off again?
18 and 9 is 27. 28. 28 and 9. 28.
Why aren't you answering the phone? It might be Richard.
That's why I'm not answering it.
Hello? Oh, yes, he is. Just a moment, please. It's Eddie.
Sorry. Hi, Eddie. Yeah, I asked him. No, he wouldn't. I guess you'll have to go to the movies by yourself. Yeah, I know how it is. I don't like to go alone either. You want to come over here and maybe we'll hack around? No. Okay, it's up to you. So long. Changed your mind?
Changed my mind about what?
Who is this?
It's Richard. And Ross, before you hang up, would you ask Patty if she'd please come to the telephone?
Okay. Patty! Richard's on the phone! Patty!
I'm coming!
Here she comes.
You mean she'll talk to me?
Yeah, she's dying to talk to you.
Ross!
Here.
No. Hang up!
Hold on a second, Rich. There's been a little hang-up.
Now what? Did you hear what that little bleep just did?
Well, I thought you wanted to talk to Richard.
Not if he thinks I'm anxious to talk to him.
Martin, will you do something about this?
Patty, I hope you realize you're taking a risk.
What do you mean, a risk?
Well, as your mother will tell you, you can push a man only so far.
Believe me, dear, he's right.
You think I'm pushing?
As your father will tell you, a man has his pride.
Even Richard.
Yeah, you're right.
I'm sorry, Richard, but I just can't stand to hear a grown teenager cry.
Ross, don't hang up! You hung up.
Holy cow, isn't that what you just told me to do?
This is a fine time to start doing what you're told. Oh, what did he say? Did he say call back? Did he say anything?
He said he's coming over.
He is? So, he's coming over to apologize, huh?
I got news for you, pal. You got a wrong misimpression.
What do you mean?
Richard says that he left his notebook here last week. He needs it, and that's the only reason he's coming over.
Well, I got news for you, pal. That's just an excuse to see me. He didn't leave any notebook here.
Don't move.
In that case, he probably won't even come in. No, let's apologize.
I'm sorry, Patty.
It's not your fault, Ross. It's me. How can I hope to compete with a girl as cool as Cynthia Howard?
I think you're just as cool as she is.
Yeah? Am I just as pretty?
Wouldn't you rather be cool and pretty?
Thanks a lot.
Well, I didn't mean it. Well, as a matter of fact, I think that any boy that wouldn't go for a girl as pretty as you must be out of his tree.
Ross, that's the first time you ever said I was pretty.
Well,
Am I?
Patty, I wish I had $1 for every time I've heard a certain person say so.
Richard?
No, Mom.
Thanks a bunch.
Wait a minute. Why don't you try to make up with Richard when he comes over?
He's not even gonna come inside. He's just coming over to get his notebook.
How about, suppose if you can't find it?
Of course I can find it. It's right there.
Yeah, but you know how things have a way of disappearing around here.
Ross, that would not only be unethical, it would be wrong.
Wait a minute, Patty. I think I got a way to make it ethical.
How?
Well, if I hide it somewhere, you really won't know where it is.
That's collusion.
All right, how about this? What's collusion?
I don't know, but it means underhanded.
Okay, supposing you tell me not to hide it, and I hide it anyway. That way I'll collude and you won't have to.
Ross, you're a great rap.
Hey, wait a minute. I just had another idea.
What?
I mean, just as insurance.
Collusion insurance?
Yeah. If I went to the movies, you wouldn't be able to ask me where I put the notebook even if you attempted to.
Is that really necessary?
Well, I'm just thinking of your happiness.
Yeah. Yeah, it would be better that way.
Okay, that'll be 75 cents for the movies and a quarter for popcorn. All right, forget the popcorn.
Oh, you look lovely, dear.
You sure it's not too much? I mean, I really want to play it cool.
Oh, you look great. I'm sure you win first prize.
What?
Aren't you going to a costume party?
Pablo, for your information... It's out! It's out!
Patty, don't rush.
I love the way she plays it cool.
Hi.
Good evening.
Did Ross mention?
Yes, he said you were coming by to pick up your science notebook.
Oh. Well, I guess I'll just wait out here then.
I'm very sorry, but we don't allow visitors to wait on the front porch, irregardless of whomsoever they might be.
What?
Come in.
That sure is a pretty outfit, Patty.
Well, this, I just didn't have a chance to get dressed.
Oh, you're going out?
I might,
Well, then I better split.
but I might not. So, why don't you just come in and sit down?
Boy, you sure look pretty, Patty.
I do?
And listen, Patty, about last week.
No explanation necessary.
Really?
Absolutely not. Where were you?
What do you mean, where was I?
I happen to know you were at the library with Cynthia Howard.
I wasn't with her. She just happened to be there. I mean, it's a free public library.
Oh, really? And when did you ever go to a free public library except to get warm? And what about our date to meet at the Shake Shop?
What's the matter with you, Patty? You were supposed to meet me at the library.
What?
Yeah, I waited over 2 hours for you.
You did? Under the circumstances, Richard, I feel there's only one thing I can say. I forgive you.
Boy, I sure missed you.
You did?
Yeah, it seemed like a year, you know?
I know. Boy, time sure doesn't fly sometimes.
Yeah, Patty,
Yes, Richard.
Holy cow! Time sure does fly sometimes. I gotta get that notebook and start cramming for that test on Monday.
But today's Saturday. You have 2 whole days.
I know, but I've been goofing off for 2 whole months. And my dad said if I don't bring my grade up, I've had it.
What do you have to bring it up to?
Anything that doesn't look like an F. Really, I gotta go. Could I please have that notebook?
Yeah, I think Ross said he saw it someplace.
See you later, Patty. Going to a movie.
Ross, wait a minute! Wait! Look, Richard needs that notebook. I mean, he really needs it. You know what I mean?
Certainly, Patty, and I sure wish I could help you, but I gotta get over to Eddie's.
No, I'm not kidding! He really needs it! Ross!
Well, that sister of mine is really great when she's putting on an act. You know, for a minute there, I thought she actually wanted that notebook.
You think hiding in the laundry bag was safe?
We'll find it there.
Anyone who's looking for dirty laundry. Hello? It's Patty.
Hello? Yeah?
Oh, Ross, am I glad I got you. Now you listen to me, and you listen good. Richard needs that notebook.
Patty, is Richard there by the phone?
Yeah.
For a minute there, I thought you were serious.
I am serious. Where is the notebook?
Boy, Patty, what a put on.
Ross, where is it?
Keep it up, Patty. Keep it up. You're doing great.
Ross, this is your last chance. If you don't tell me where that notebook is, I swear you'll regret it for the rest of your life.
You overdid it, Patty. And besides, I gotta go. Bye.
Ross!
Patty, instead of persecuting a poor kid, why don't we just look for the notebook?
You're right. I can always persecute him later.
I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll flip to see which movie we go to.
No, I'm willing to see whichever one you want to.
You are? Gee, thanks, pal.
The guest should never argue with the host.
Hey, wait a minute. Which one am I?
You're not paying for us?
Eddie, if I had enough money for 2, you wouldn't be one of them.
It's Ross's strong box. He keeps all his valuables in it. Here's some tools. Try and open it.
I don't get it. There's nothing valuable about a science notebook, particularly mine. You got a hairpin?
What do you need a hairpin for? You got all these tools.
Oh, I don't know, but that's the way they always open them in the movies.
Oh, here, let me try.
It's open.
Some safe cracker.
I don't see my notebook.
That rotten little kid. I knew he was loaded, and he took my 75 cents, and then he ran out on the whole thing.
What do you mean he ran out?
Well, you saw him, Richard. He just ran out right before your very eyes.
Yeah, but what you pay him for?
It's something personal. Let's just forget about it.
No, wait a minute, Patty. There's something here I'm beginning not to understand.
Mom, we're going to check the kitchen.
Okay, honey. Natalie, this is ridiculous. We've looked all over the house for that stupid notebook.
Well, it's got to be here somewhere.
Yeah, but meanwhile, I haven't balanced my checkbook yet.
Well, then why don't you go back to it?
You don't mind?
Go ahead.
Okay.
Balancing a checkbook is more important than your daughter's happiness. Well, then go ahead.
Where do you want me to look?
Hey, wait a minute. There's something behind here.
Is that the notebook?
Well, move this a little and I'll try and get to it. Are these the cigars Ross gave you last Christmas?
Oh, yeah.
You didn't smoke them.
I smoked one. Now, maybe I should raise his allowance. Boy, is he cheap.
What are you doing?
When Ross is old enough to smoke, he's going to get a nice present from his cheap father.
Check Ross's room again.
All right.
Oh, maybe you should check the basement.
Now you tell me.
Oh, and Martin, as long as you're going to be down there, would you please take this laundry and dump it into the washing machine and turn it on.
You sure it's safe for you to show up?
Sure. Either they've already made up or they're never going to talk to each other again.
You mean that dumb brother of yours hid it? Now he won't tell you where it is?
But I'm trying to tell you. I asked him not to tell me.
Well, what am I supposed to do now?
Keep your voice down. That's one thing you're supposed to do.
Oh, you're right. What an act.
That's no act. Come on, let's go get that notebook. Boy, I tell you, this is the last time I do anything for... It's not there. Look, do me a favor. Check my room while I check Patty's.
What does the laundry bag look like?
It's got big flowers all over it.
What kind of flowers?
How should I know? I'm not a florist. Keep going.
Oh, hi, Eddie. Is Ross home?
Yeah, we're looking for a laundry bag with big anonymous flowers on it.
Thanks for reminding me.
About what?
Oh, Mrs. Lane asked me to put that laundry in the washing machine. I forgot all about it.
Hey, what are you just standing there for? Why aren't you looking for the laundry bag?
Where should I? Your dad found it.
Found it?
Yeah, he just went down and put it in the washing machine.
And you let him? Boy, Eddie, you are...
What do you mean let him? It's his laundry.
Dad, wait!
Dad, you're not gonna get away this time. Richard, you have another
let
right.
go.
Now you listen to me.
Dad, don't put
Where is that notebook?
Get out, Ross! You're starting to tick me off!
Did you call me Ross? I couldn't hear a thing with that washing machine going. What's all this yelling about?
Nothing, Dad, compared to the yelling you're gonna hear now.
It's pretty quiet in there.
Yeah. Either Richard is still mad and they're not talking, or they're not talking.
I don't think I've ever seen Richard so upset.
Well, do you blame him?
I think he could have been a little more gracious after we offered to make amends.
Yeah.
How are you boys coming along?
Just about finished.
Can you read it?
Well, it's certainly as legible as it was originally.
What's legible?
Well, it's the same as collusion, only not so underhanded. Forget it, keep working.
You're not scorching any of those pages, are you?
No, Mom, we get the iron set on rayon.
What about the cover?
Forget it. Come on, we better take these into Richard. Richard! Richard!
Yeah, Ross?
We got your notebook cleaned and pressed.
Gee, I certainly want to thank you, fellas.
You can read practically everything. That is, everything you could read before.
I'm sorry we got one of these pictures a little scorched.
Eddie.
Pictures? Yeah, the ones of this girl. Are they in there? You better let me have them.
May I see those? Thank you. Well, well, well. The many faces of Cynthia Howard.
No, wait a minute, Patty. Let me explain. When I ran into her at the library, she had these proofs from a photographer, and she asked me which one I preferred. When I couldn't make up my mind, she said, take them home, decide, let me know. You know, kind of sleep on it.
Is that how it happened?
I swear.
I think we better split.
Richard,
Now, wait a minute, Patty.
you said Cynthia gave you these pictures at the library that night. Now, we haven't seen each other since. Would you be good enough to explain to me how her pictures got in your science notebook, which was here all the time?
Wait a minute, Patty. You're mixing me up.
I'm not mixing you up. You were born that way. Good night. Now, don't say anything you'll regret. Just go home and think this over very clearly, and when you've got a reasonable explanation, call Cynthia Howard and give it to her.
I'm sorry, Patty.
Oh, that's okay, Eddie.
Thanks for not being sore.
It wasn't your fault. You did your best.
Patty, I just want to say that...
Who cares what you want to say? I'll never forgive you for this.
But I...
Never!
I'm going home.
I'm going with you.
Where's Ross going?
For a walk in space without a rope, I hope. Are you sure we didn't get him from a band of gypsies?
Well, I don't think it's fair to blame your troubles on him.
No, you're right. It's all your fault. Our fault?
How do you figure?
Well, if you two had been stronger 14 years ago when I was running around the house saying, I want a little brother, I want a little brother, none of this would have happened.
Here's Kathy, who's lived most everywhere, from Zanzibar to Berkeley Square. The Patty's only seen the sights a girl can see from Brooklyn Heights. What a crazy pair, but they're cousins, identical cousins, and you'll find they laugh alike, they walk alike, at times they even talk alike. You can lose your mind when cousins are two of us.
Two in the dining room living it up.
Thank you, Kathy. And I want all of you to be especially careful not to get on his nerves tonight. Is that clear, Ross?
Sure. If I think of something that'll get on his nerves, I'll save it till tomorrow. Is that the idea?
Yes. No. Ross, your father's a little upset right at this time.
It's that circulation war with the Evening Express, isn't it?
So remember, I don't want to hear one word about the newspaper.
Hello, everybody. I'm home.
Oh, dear, when he sounds that cheerful, I know he's in a bad mood. Now remember,
Not one word about the newspaper.
Hi, honey.
Hi there.
Gee, it's good to have you home early for a change.
Here, Uncle Martin, I'll take your briefcase.
Kath, there's some papers in there I want to look at
Slippers are
before
right
dinner.
here, Dad. Here, let me help you all over here.
Son, what are you doing? Take it easy, will you?
Ow!
Ross!
Sorry about that.
Incidentally, the answer is no.
About what?
About whatever it is you're after.
Honey, he's just trying to be helpful. There. Comfy?
And we're not going to redo the living room now.
All I want is for you just to sit back and relax
Here's
until
your pipe,
dinner.
Uncle Martin.
Now, if there's anything you want, you just let us know.
I'm sorry.
All I would like right now is a little uninterrupted peace and quiet.
Hi, everybody. Are you ready for this? A candy striper's uniform.
They've accepted you at the hospital. Wonderful.
Yeah, Mrs. Williams, the head nurse, says it's going to be a lot more hard work than glamour, but who knows where it could lead? I might wind up in a jungle hospital.
We should be so lucky.
That'll be enough of that, son. Patty, I'm very proud of you. When did you get interested in being a nurse's aide?
Well, there was this newspaper article calling for volunteers.
Oh? I don't recall the Chronicle running anything like that recently.
No, I didn't read it in the Chronicle.
Patty,
I read it in the Evening Express. Yeah, Ma?
forget it.
Meet Kathy, who lived most everywhere, from Zanzibar to Berkeley Square. But Patty's only seen the sights a girl can see from Brooklyn Heights. What a crazy pair! But they're cousins, identical cousins all the way. One pair of matching bookends, different as night and day.
Where Kathy adores a minuet.
The ballet russe and crepe Suzette. Our Patty loves to rock and roll, the hot dog makes her lose control. What a wild duet. Still they're cousins, identical cousins, and you'll find they laugh alike, they walk alike, at times they even talk alike. You can lose your mind when cousins are two of a kind.
Well, why shouldn't I blow my stack, Jim? All I hear from you are excuses. Don't you think I got enough trouble with TJ on my back about the circulation problem? I don't see why I should have to tolerate this kind of asinine behavior from myself. Jim, I'm sorry. Forget the whole thing. If they dropped the front page in typesetting, I'm sure there was a good reason for it. Yeah, all right. Goodbye, Jim. Where was I now? Item 7, concerning the circulation problem. Oh, shut up. Oh, brother. Item 7, concerning the circulation problem. Perhaps the Chronicle needs a new image.
Papa, would you mind if I took a real quiet look at the medical encyclopedia?
No, go ahead.
Thank you.
Larger masthead, easier to read type, maybe greater photo coverage. Item 8.
Sorry.
What's that?
Oh, it's a spin... for taking your blood pressure.
A sphygmometer.
Yeah, I got it at a medical surplus store, just in case there's an emergency at the hospital.
Patty, what kind of an emergency could there be where they'd allow a nurse's aide to take blood pressure?
An epidemic, maybe, if I'm lucky.
Item 8. How about doubling the size of the sports page? Item 9. Another possibility might be to lower all new subscription rates.
Oh, can I borrow your left arm?
What?
Well, you're only using your right hand, and I thought if you weren't using the other one, I could take your blood pressure.
Patty, I know what my blood pressure is. Boiling. Now, will you take that thing and get out of here?
Sure, Papa. Just thought you'd be interested in my career.
Oh, Patty, wait a minute. Look, honey, of course I'm interested in your career. I'm interested in whatever you're doing. It's just that there are times when life forces us to be more interested in other things, like making a living.
Pretty rough, huh?
Well, let's just say that if the Chronicle circulation doesn't improve, then T.J. Blodgett's disposition won't either. So I'm trying to do everything I can to come up with new ideas to hypo the sales.
How about a contest?
No, the Evening Express specializes in contests. They run every one in the book.
Yeah, but a medical contest?
A what?
A medical quiz. Every day you ask a different question about medicine, and then at the end of the month, the winner gets a groovy prize.
Like a free appendectomy.
Yeah, I guess you're right. The general public isn't as interested in medicine as we specialists.
Yeah, well, look, Patty, I really got to get back to my memo, okay?
Sure, as soon as I finish taking your pulse. The duodenal ulcer is easily distinguished from the peptic variety by noting that...
Ah! Oh! That stupid skateboard, you dumb thing. Oh!
Ross, what happened?
Oh, I got a splinter in my finger from that stupid skateboard.
Ooh. Ross, when did you have your last tetanus shot?
My last what?
Never mind, we have to do something before infection sets in. What happened? Ross got a splinter in his finger. Kathy, would you get me the first aid kit in the bathroom and a needle and something to sterilize it with? Of course.
What? Hey, come on, you aren't gonna stick any needles in me. Not without a license, you aren't.
Ross, you just sit still and stop circulating your blood. It's bad for the infection.
What infection? I just got the splinter.
You don't know where that skateboard's been.
It's never been anywhere I haven't been.
That's what I mean. Here, Pat, here's the first aid kit. Thank you. Alcohol?
Hey, come on now. Come
Ross,
on.
sit
Hey,
still and stop being such a baby. Now give me the needle.
hey, come on now. Let me do it myself.
Come on, Kathy, grab his other hand.
Ah!
Ross, can't you stand a little pain?
Yeah, but that was the wrong finger.
Patty, I heard a scream. What's the matter?
Nothing, Mom. Nothing at all. Accidents will happen.
Well, let's have a look.
Are you all right?
Oh, my ankle.
Oh, don't anybody touch him. He might be fractured. Just stay away. Let him breathe. Okay, now. Don't worry, Papa. I'll help you out. Let me see. Bandage, compress. Oh, darn, I don't have any splints.
Natalie, would you please call the doctor before she starts to operate?
Keep him quiet now. Boy, Papa, you sure were lucky. It says here, even a simple fracture of the abductor hallucis bone can take months to heal.
I'll bear that in mind. Next time I'm tempted to trip over a skateboard. Hey, where did Dr. Fenneman go?
He's talking to Mom.
You're sure it's nothing serious, Ralph?
Positive. I only wish I could be as optimistic about his general condition. I've never seen Martin quite so on edge.
These last few months have been impossible. Nights, weekends, he practically lives at the office.
What he needs is a nice long weekend in the country with plenty of quiet.
Now, in the middle of that awful circulation war with the Evening Express, he'd never go. He'd think he was deserting under fire.
Well, if he won't go away, let me see what I can do on the home front to get him some rest.
What's the verdict?
Well, you won't be doing any place kicking for the Giants, but I imagine you'll survive.
Now, that's what I told you over the phone. You didn't have to come rushing over here. I know how you live for those Friday night poker games.
I was getting lousy cards anyway. You probably saved me a fortune.
Good. You can take it off my bill. Anyway, thanks very much, Ralph. I appreciate it. And I'll see you next month at the council meeting.
Make that tomorrow at the hospital. I want to take a few x-rays just to be on the safe side. And while we're at it, we might as well give you a complete physical.
What?
And with the weekend coming up, you'll only miss Monday at the office.
Oh, now, wait a minute. Oh,
So I'll see you there at 9 a.m. tomorrow.
oh, brother.
Martin, stop grumbling and be grateful you have a doctor who cares.
Hey, Papa, you know what I just realized?
What?
Tomorrow's my first day at the hospital, too.
Oh, really?
Yeah, now you have two things to be grateful for. time for your orange juice.
Oh, Patty, I'm not thirsty now.
Papa, let's not get off on the wrong foot. You need your vitamin C. Now, come on, drink up. I have lots of work to do. Sorry, Papa. Okay, there you go. It takes a while to get used to these things.
Patty, you can take it away now. I've had my orange juice.
Oh, good, Papa. There we go. Oh, Papa, you spilled it all over yourself.
Patty, you're a nurse's aide, aren't you?
Of course.
Well, shouldn't you be off somewhere aiding a nurse?
Well, no, this is my lunchtime. I can spend a whole hour with you.
You can?
Uh-huh.
Well, honey, I really got a lot of work to do.
Now, Papa, if I let you do any work, I'd be violating my Hippocratic oath.
That's Hippocratic, and I swear I won't tell a soul.
Papa, my orders are absolute rest. Now, how about a nice book?
I don't feel like reading.
Too tired, huh?
As a matter of fact, yes.
Oh, then I'll read to you.
No, Patty, I'm going to go to sleep right now.
Oh, good. You know, Papa, I read where 60% of the best... If you're looking for your briefcase, I took it for the duration. Pleasant dreams. Bye.
Dr. Summers, third floor reception, please.
Hi. Anybody home? Professor Schroeder? Oh. Excuse me. We are Professor Schroeder, aren't we?
Well, I don't know about you, but the last time I looked, I was me.
What are you doing in the closet?
Who, me? Why don't you pull up a wheelchair and sit down?
In the closet? Isn't it a little stuffy in here?
Yeah. Stuffy, unprivate. That's what a man needs around here. A closet full of privacy.
So he can sneak a cigar against doctor's orders. Oh, I read your chart. Imagine a grown man like you sneaking off in the closet like a little boy to hide from the head nurse.
I thought it was pretty clever myself.
I think you should be ashamed of yourself. And what do you have to say about that?
I'm ashamed of myself.
Come on. Let's just come right out here and make ourselves comfortable. We'll sit down and we'll wheel right over there. There you go. That's nice. Come right over here and open the blinds.
Oh, please, don't open the blinds. From here, you can see the incinerator.
So?
You expect me to watch all that wonderful smoke pouring out of that chimney when you won't let me even sneak a teensy-weensy cigar?
Hello? Oh, hi, TJ. How's everything at the office?
Martin, I think I've got a hold of something big. Did you ever hear of a Professor Heinrich Schroeder?
Oh, yeah, he's a space scientist, isn't he? He's got a book coming out about how to colonize the moon.
Yeah, that's our boy. Martin, do you realize what a daily serialization of that book could mean to the Chronicle?
Yeah, 10,000 new readers, maybe 20. You mean you got it set up?
No, not exactly. I've decided to leave the details up to you, inasmuch as Schroeder checked into the hospital there this morning. Now, all you have to do is find out what room he's in, then you make your pitch, and then...
Oh, now, wait a minute, TJ. I can't go barging into a man's hospital room with a business proposition. That isn't ethical.
Who said anything about barging? Use your ingenuity.
Like what?
Like you used to when you were a young reporter. Without ethics.
Yeah, wait a minute.
Calling Dr. Paisley. Calling Dr. Paisley.
Popo, you know you're not supposed to be out of your room.
Oh, well, I just thought I'd stretch my legs. I mean, my arms. So I decided I'd better take a little walk. Ride.
Dr. Fenneman says you're supposed to stay off your feet.
I am off my feet.
I'm sorry, Popo, but rules are rules. Honestly, Kathy, he is positively the worst patient I've ever handled in my entire medical career. He won't stay still a minute. I can imagine. Patty, there must be something you can do to get his mind off the Chronicle. Yeah, but what? Perhaps it would be good therapy if you got him interested in someone else's problem. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a good idea. Of course, I don't know how you'd go about it, but... Oh, that's okay, Kathy. I'll figure it out. Papa doesn't know it, but he's about to get a crash course in instant therapy. Thanks a lot. Goodbye.
Hello, admissions desk. This is Mr. Lane in room 274. Say, I hear that an old friend of mine has just checked into the hospital, Professor Heinrich Schroeder. Oh, room 237. I wonder if you could put me through, please. Oh, he's not allowed to accept calls. Well, I guess I'll just have to write him a note then. No messages either. Well, excuse me, I'll have to hang up now.
Papa?
Huh?
I found someone to cheer you up.
Oh?
I'd like you to meet Mr. Peabody. Mr. Peabody, this is my father, Mr. Lane. Mr. Peabody came in with the same problem you have, a sprained ankle.
Oh, really? Well, of course, Mr. Peabody, I didn't really sprain my ankle. I just twisted it. I'll be walking out of here first thing Tuesday morning.
That's what I thought, till the complications set in.
Complications? What kind?
Who knows? They ain't been able to find them yet. 6 weeks ago, I come here a healthy man. Now look at me. Even my hair hurts.
Now, Mr. Peabody, you just stay here and have a nice long chat with Papa. It'll be good for his morale.
Nice girl you got there.
Thank you.
Hope you don't catch anything working around here. Not for germs, you know. And that was just the beginning. 3 years ago, I come here with an ingrown toenail. Would you believe it? Inside of 12 hours, they was blaming the whole thing on a busted collarbone.
I know. Well, Patty was sure right about one thing, Mr. Peabody. You had an amazing effect on my morale.
Always glad to help a fella sufferer.
Believe me, Mr. Peabody, I'll never forget you for this. Now, I hope you don't mind if I get you started on your way. See, I think I'd like to be alone for a while I make out my will. Goodbye, Mr. Peabody. Hello? Oh, yeah. Hello, TJ. Well, no, I haven't, not yet, but you only called an hour ago, and I... Yes, TJ, I know they can circle the Earth in 90 minutes, but it just so happens I don't have a booster rocket on my wheelchair. TJ, I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to hang up. Goodbye.
Papa?
Huh?
I brought a visitor by for you. I thought you might be bored, so this is Peter Mason, and he's come by to cheer you up.
Hi, Mr. Mason.
No, I think you're Mr. Mason.
Oh, yes. That's right.
Mr. Mason is a poet.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. He hasn't had anything published yet, so I thought maybe you could give him some advice.
Yeah, well, I'd be very happy to.
Well, it just so happens I have a sample of my work right here, Mr. Lane. It's a short history of Liechtenstein.
Well, that's a very impressive piece of work, Mr. Mason. 857 pages. If you spread them all out, they'd be larger than the whole country.
He's very amusing, Patty, just like you said he would.
Well, I'm very sorry, Mr. Mason, but I really don't have time to...
Oh, but they're very fast reading, Mr. Lane. It's all in verse. A Short History of Liechtenstein by Peter Mason. Once upon a time, there was no Liechtenstein. It was just a bunch of scenery with Edelweiss and greenery. Everywhere were castles run by knights and vassals. In winter they were frozen because they dressed in lederhosen. And from the mountains to the valleys with beer and sometimes wine, they toasted the new nation and they called it Liechtenstein. What do you think?
Well, there's a lot to digest.
Oh, you want me to read it again?
No. I'll tell you, Mr. Mason, I think what we'd better do is just give me a little time to cogitate about it, and maybe we could talk it over on Tuesday, late in the day.
Okay, because I want to get started on my next history. China. Well, thank you very much, Mr. Lane, for all the wonderful help. Goodbye. Get well.
For heaven's sakes, TJ, will you give me a chance? I was just on my way out the door to talk to the... Natalie?
Martin, what's the matter, dear? Why are you so upset?
It's your daughter, the poor man's Florence Nightingale.
What has she done?
You mean, what hasn't she done? In the past 4 hours, she has deluged me with a parade of characters that would make your hair stand on end. Natalie, I swear, if she comes through that door with one more crackpot, I'll call you right back.
Hi, Papa.
You're just the young lady I want to talk to, Patty.
Oh, good, but first I'd like you to meet one of the most interesting men...
One moment. Pardon me, sir, but this is a private conversation.
Oh, yeah. Far would it be for me to intrude between the father or this daughter, especially such a charming daughter. But if you'll take my advice...
At the risk of being rude, I don't want your advice.
Papa.
Oh, that's all right, Liebchen, I understand. What I wanted to say was...
I don't care what you wanted to say, sir. Would you kindly leave? I'd like to be alone.
Don't worry. With your disposition, that should be easy. Lucky that girl takes after her mother.
If only unmitigated gall. He comes barging into my room and he insults me.
Don't blame him. It was my fault. I thought you'd be delighted to meet a nice man like Professor Schroeder.
Patty, at this point, I wouldn't be delighted to meet the... Professor Schroeder? Heinrich Schroeder?
Yeah, that's him. He's a pretty big wheel, you know.
Now you tell me. Patty, I've been trying to talk to him all day. I've got to find him now. Professor Schroeder, sir, just wait a minute. Sir, please, I've got to explain. I'm terribly sorry about what just happened.
Finally got him interested in somebody else's problem.
I must say, Professor, it was very generous of you to accept my apologies for our little misunderstanding the way you did.
Well, if there's one lesson I've learned in life, it's never to trust first impressions.
Well, I'm glad you feel that way. Now, what about the Chronicle's offer to serialize your book?
Okay. I make you a wager.
How do you mean?
A bet. You win this game, and I give you what you want.
Really? Gee, that's very sporting of you. Very generous.
Not at all. Because I think in 3 moves, I got you beat.
You think so?
I think so.
I don't think so.
No? Why not?
Because in 1 move, I've got you checkmated.
No.
Yes?
Ah, show me.
I'm sorry, gentlemen, but the game is over. It's time for supper.
My dear friend, I am a man of science. I have been around the world, and I have seen many things. And this I say only to you. Boy, have you got a problem.
Here's Kathy, who's lived most everywhere, from Zanzibar to Berkeley Square. The Patty's only seen the sights a girl can see from Brooklyn Heights. What a crazy pair, but they're cousins, identical cousins.
What's so interesting out here? Oh, nothing. The Johnsons are having their garage painted.
Meet Kathy, who lived most everywhere, from Zanzibar to Berkeley Square. But Patty's only seen the sights a girl can see from Brooklyn Heights. What a crazy pair! But they're cousins, identical cousins all the way. One pair of matching bookends, different as night and day.
Where Kathy adores a minuet.
The ballet russe and crepe Suzette. Our Patty loves to rock and roll. The hot dog makes her lose control. What a wild duet. Still they're cousins, identical cousins, and you'll find they laugh alike, they walk alike, at times they even talk alike. You can lose your mind when cousins are two of a kind.
Oh, I'm sorry. I hope I didn't disturb you.
That's all right.
I'm Patty Lane. I live here. I'm a neighbor to the Johnsons.
Uh-huh.
I've been their neighbor ever since we moved next door to each other. I certainly admire the way you handle that brush. I think being a painter is a marvelous career.
I'm not a painter. This is just a summer job. I go to forestry school.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm going to be a ranger.
I think being a ranger is a marvelous career. You know, I think that's what's wrong with civilization today. We've gotten too far away from the tree.
Kathy, where are you going with that? I just emptied it a little while ago. Why, it's still practically empty.
Well, you know the old saying, Aunt Natalie, if you keep emptying a wastebasket, it will never get full. Mom, have you ever thought of how unselfish trees are?
Not lately.
It's worth thinking about. Do you know that some noble oak gave his life so that we could have this beautiful table?
Well, in that case, I'm going to sue the furniture store. They told me that table was solid walnut.
Where's Kathy?
She just went to empty the wastebasket.
Mom, don't you think the curtains in our room need to be ironed?
Yes, they do, honey, but I just don't have time today.
Oh, look, Mom, it's Kathy's in my room. I'll iron them. I'll go get the iron.
Pat, I don't think that's a very good idea. You know, the last time you tried to iron them, you almost burned the house down.
Oh, yeah. Well, look, if you're trying to tell me that Kathy is a better ironer than I am, I won't be hurt. I'll go tell her. Kathy! Excuse me. Mom would like you to iron the curtains in our room. Well, I told Hank I'd get him a glass of water. Hank? Yes, he's very interesting, isn't he? Yeah. Look, you better get on the curtains and I'll get him his glass of water. Patty, are you sure that was Aunt Natalie's idea and not yours? Why, Kathy, you should be ashamed of yourself. Wash your brain out with soap.
Thanks, Patty.
You're welcome, Hank. I know it doesn't have that tang of water fresh from a mountain stream, which I so love, but it's all we can get out of our tap.
Funny how you and your cousin both go for the outdoors.
Well, I suppose some of my enthusiasm is rubbed off on her.
She said she once spent her vacation in the Alps and climbed the Matterhorn.
She called that a climb?
It's supposed to be pretty high.
That's because Switzerland is so small, it just makes the Matterhorn look big by comparison. Give me the Rockies any day.
Yeah.
You like the Rockies?
I've got an application in for assistant ranger at Yellowstone Park.
No kidding. You know, you Rangers are the unsung heroes of our society.
Tell that to Congress. If they don't pass H.R. 973A, this country's gonna be in big trouble.
You're absolutely right. What is that?
Forest conservation.
Forest conservation is a must. It should be supported by everybody who loves wood.
You really feel that way?
Of course I feel that way. Do you know I was the only kid in my class who hated Pinocchio?
Dr. S.L. Talbot, $50. Hey, Natalie, how long are we going to have to keep paying this dentist?
Till we get Rose's teeth untangled.
Well, I wish he'd smile once in a while when we have company so people could see what a generous father I am.
Papa, excuse me. Can I ask you something about going to the beach again this summer?
Yeah, what about it?
Well, are we going to keep going there year after year?
I thought you enjoyed the beach.
Oh, yeah, I do, but, you know, there is such a thing as getting into a rut. I mean, all they have there is sand and water. Couldn't we do something more outdoorsy?
More outdoorsy than the beach?
Well, higher and greener. Like mountains and forests. Someplace where you can sleep under a blanket of stars and listen to the forest murmuring in your ears.
Well, I'll think about it.
Thanks, Papa. Oh, by the way, Papa, while you're writing, don't forget to send a letter to your congressman and tell him to vote yes on H.R. 973A.
What's that?
Forest conservation. The whole thing is snowballing. Get behind it. You too, Mom.
What's his sudden passion for the great outdoors?
I'm not sure, but I think the answer is a bunch of muscles at the end of a wet paintbrush.
It is a gymnosperm. Pythagoras Pinus volustrus. It is a Where's Kathy?
She's outside emptying another wastebasket. Boy, I tell you, if you want to find dirt in this house, you gotta borrow a cup next door. Oh, something new has been added. Tarzan is working with his shirt off.
Is that wastebasket gone again?
I'll get it. Kathy! What is it, Patty? Mom needs the wastebasket, Kathy. Where are you going? To get rid of this. Hi.
Hi.
You're doing a wonderful job there.
Thanks.
Oh, by the way, is that pine?
No, spruce.
Oh, speaking of pine, the botanical name is Pinus palustris, and it's a gymnosperm of the conifer family, and it's indigenous of the north temperate zones, United States, and Canada, as you probably already know.
Yeah.
The gas having wood in common.
The way to remember is coniferous trees have cones and deciduous trees have leaves.
Oh, I'm so glad you're straightening me out, Hank. I always get deciduous mixed up with kind of the kind with cones.
Hi, Patty.
Hi. Richard, this is Hank. Hank, this is Richard.
Hi.
Hi.
Go on. What are some more of the deciduous species?
Well, you've got your elm, your oak, your maple, your walnut, and so forth.
Elm, oak, maple, walnut, and so forth.
Maple walnut. That's one of my favorite flavors.
Richard, we're talking about trees.
Oh.
What are some of the kinds with the cones?
Well, they're your evergreens or needle leaf trees that hold on to their leaves all year, except for your bald cypress and your larch.
Have you ever been to Sequoia National Forest?
No.
I was. My folks took me. You know what kind of trees they have there?
Sequoias.
Not exactly, but mostly.
What about the bald cypress, Hank?
Well, you find
Let
it
me
mostly...
ask you this. Do you guys know why some maple trees give syrup and some don't?
Because some are sugar maples and some aren't.
Well, that's what most people think. Well, actually, it's true. But the important thing is when you're out looking for syrup, make sure it's a sugar maple. Because some of them aren't.
Richard, can I talk to you a moment, please? Excuse us. Do you realize you're talking to a man who's practically a forest ranger?
So?
So people who pretend they know things they don't know just make fools of themselves, which is exactly what you're doing.
Yeah, well, don't expect me to support that forest conversation bill.
Conservation.
Well, I'm not going to vote for either one of them.
Natalie, where are you? Patty? Kathy? Ross?
Honey, what's wrong?
Nothing's wrong. Sit down, sit down. Listen, when I was at the office today, it hit me like a brainstorm. Oh, hi, kids. Come on, sit down. I want you to hear this. Patty was right.
Of course I was. About what?
Well, about our going to the beach every summer. Instead of bringing this family together, the beach tends to pull us apart.
I don't understand.
Well, look, we all go to the beach together and we come home together, but in between, everybody goes off in his own separate ways. I mean, one person goes swimming, another one goes fishing, another one plays bridge, another one collects shells, and the only time we ever see each other is at dinner to say, pass the sugar.
Or waiting to get into the bathroom.
Right. Anyway, why can't we all go camping? I mean, pitch a tent out somewhere in the woods. No telephones, no gasoline fumes, nobody else around. Just all of us working together and playing together like a real family.
Pitch a tent? You mean sleep on the ground with all those crawly things?
Oh, Natalie, we'd have sleeping bags. You'd love it.
Oh, Papa, I think it's a great idea. Really smashing.
At last I'll get a chance to use my hunting knife.
You know where we should go? Yellowstone National Park. I hear the forest rangers there are very dedicated.
Yellowstone? Don't they have bears up there?
Oh, yeah, but they're very friendly and polite.
Oh, you mean they say, excuse me, before they tear your head off?
Well, now, wait a minute. I wasn't thinking of anything that far away. You know, maybe the Catskills or the Adirondacks. Natalie, you'd love it.
Knowing this family, the whole thing would probably be just a giant lash-up.
Now, Natalie, that is not necessarily the case.
That's what happened to Ozzie and Harriet last week.
Ozzie and Harriet who?
Ricky's mother and father.
I don't think I've ever met him. And anyway, it is not going to be any giant lash-up because I have a master plan. Now, I have borrowed some camping equipment, and we are going to have a dry run before we head for the hills.
Oh, boy, where?
Right in our own backyard.
Our backyard?
Well, why not? There's plenty of room.
Papa, that's a fantastic idea. Please, Mom.
Well...
That makes it unanimous. All right, everybody. The Lane expedition shoves off for the backyard tomorrow morning at 0800. Any questions?
Yahoo! Sounds wonderful. Mom, you'll love it. I promise no little bugs will crawl and we'll get that free stuff and then we'll live together.
You're setting up camp in the backyard?
Yeah. See, the family's gonna go to the mountains for the summer and I don't want to be saddled with a bunch of amateurs, so I thought I'd break them in first.
Thanks, Kath.
6-man life raft? Don't tell me you expect a flood.
Oh, of course not. Ed just gave me all the equipment he had.
This is ridiculous. Lewis and Clark didn't take this much stuff.
Lewis and Clark?
Oh, Ozzie and Harriet's in-laws.
No, Natalie, if you don't stop heckling, we may have to ask you to leave camp.
Is that a promise?
All right, everybody, let's get this show on the road. Come on.
I better go help them out.
Hey, Ross, you start untying the bedrolls.
Oh, but I want to help with the tent.
Oh, no, Kathy and I are gonna put up the tent. Mom, I'm starved. Don't you have anything to eat?
I just found the dishes.
Oh, good. I'll get it.
No, you won't.
I'll get it.
No, you won't get it either.
Why not?
Because if we're going to do this thing at all, we're going to do it right. Now, as far as you're all concerned, we're out in the woods, miles from the nearest phone.
That's funny. I can hear it just as clear as day.
I repeat, Ross, we are in the wilderness. That is not a phone ringing.
Don't be silly, Martin. That call might be for me.
Or me.
Or even me.
Oh, come on now, all of you. Papa's absolutely right. If we're gonna do this, we're gonna do it completely.
Thank you, Patty. Now, everybody tries saying to himself, there is no house. We are alone in the woods.
Trying to keep a woman from answering a phone is cruel and inhuman.
What phone? Do you hear a phone?
I don't hear a phone. Do you hear a phone?
No, I hear a bird ringing.
Now, come on, everybody repeat after me. There is no house. We are alone in the woods. Well, come on, repeat it.
There is no house. We are alone in the woods.
Okay, Ross, you get started with the fire and girl... Holy smoke, you know, I'll bet that's Bert on the phone about the golf game.
What phone? I don't hear any phone.
No, Natalie, don't be silly. This is important.
Papa, have you forgotten? There is no house. We are alone in the woods.
How you doing, son?
Who said you could light a fire by rubbing two sticks together?
Well, you just have to keep at it.
Why can't I use some matches?
Because every experienced camper should be able to start a fire by friction. Suppose you were out in the woods and you lost your matches.
I couldn't.
What makes you so sure?
Because you're always telling me I'm too young to carry matches.
Ross.
I know the pole is too short, but if you keep moving, you'll make the whole thing fall down. The stakes are going to come out. Come on, Patty, now stop it.
All right, now, just simmer down in here. Let's have a little less argument and more cooperation. Now, this is simple. All you need is the pole that holds up this end of the tent.
These are the only two poles left, and they're too short.
Oh. Well, I guess we'll just have to improvise something. Let's see, I don't suppose a shovel would work, would it?
No. How about those bamboo poles that come in the carpet? We'd have to go inside the house for it.
Oh. I've got an idea.
Yeah?
Why don't we forget the tent and sleep in the house like human beings?
Now, Natalie, let's not panic. I mean, I'm sure we can find a substitute for a pole.
Oh, Mr. Lane?
Uh-huh.
Those two short poles you've got.
Yeah?
I think you'll find one fits into the other.
Well... Oh, yeah, gee, thank you very much. Huh, yeah, what do
I tried to show them how, but they wouldn't listen to me.
Well, I'm gonna pack it in.
But you're coming back tomorrow, aren't you?
Sure, to finish up.
Oh, good. I can't tell you what a comfort it is knowing that we have a real-life forest ranger right next door.
Well, so long.
See ya.
Nothing like a nice trip on a raft.
Patty, don't eat them until they're cooked.
I can't help it. That may be never.
Ross, how's it going?
No luck.
Well, stay with it.
Martin, we're starved.
Yeah, well, just as soon as Ross gets that fire going, we'll eat.
Why can't we have some raw candy bars or something?
Because we're in the woods, and I just caught these trout.
Except that you didn't catch them, you bought them, and they're not trout, they're flounder.
Hey, I just got an idea. Why don't we cook them Indian style?
How's that?
You make a hole in the ground, you put the fish in there, and then you make the fire over it.
Sounds great.
It does?
Yeah, it seals in the flavor. Hey, whet your appetites, everybody. We're going to have our fish Indian style. Faster, Ross, faster. You've almost got it. That's it, girls. Come on, blow, harder. Come on.
Hold it! Now, I know there's no house, and I know there's no paper, and no kindling, and no match, but I am starved.
Yahoo! I've been freed!
Well, there we are. Fish Indian style.
Okay, everybody, let's dig in. It's very,
Oh, yes, it is.
Tastes kind of like, Done it.
Yes, it does.
It's got a certain quality. It's kind of hard to put your finger on. It's terrible. That's the quality. Patty, are you sure this is the way the Indians used to make it?
I only told you how to make it. I didn't say it was any good.
Sacroiliac will never be the same. I thought you said those things were comfortable.
They are. I never had a more restful sleep in my life.
Ah!
Boy.
I'm going to go start breakfast. How would you like your eggs?
Anyway but Indian style.
Hurry it up, will you, Kathy? Yes.
What's the matter?
Her blouse is caught in the zipper.
How'd you do a stupid thing like that?
What are you trying to embarrass me in front of the whole world?
Don't worry, the whole world hasn't come to work yet.
What's the problem, kids?
Oh, it's the zipper.
What's wrong?
Why doesn't everybody stop asking stupid questions and do something?
Have you tried putting some soap on the zipper?
Careful, dear, you'll tear her blouse.
Papa, please hurry it up.
All right, now, don't get hysterical.
Listen, I've got a thingamajig in the house for fixing a zipper.
You have?
Unfortunately, I don't have one here in the wilderness.
All right, go get it, and I'll get pliers out of my...
I wonder where I put it.
I have you, Aunt Natalie.
In case nothing else works, I'll get some soap.
Hi. What are you doing in the sack so late?
It was so comfy here with the sky and the trees and the grass and the ground. I just can't seem to tear myself out of this bag.
I know what you mean. Well, I gotta get started.
I got the pliers. Do you mind a thingamajig, Nat?
Yes, I'm coming right down.
Where is she? Where in the world did she disappear to?
What's that noise?
What happened?
Nothing. I'm just looking out for forest fires. Hank.
Hi, honey.
Billy, forgot your lunch.
Holy cow, I did. Thanks. Hiya, Tiger. Yep, he's getting to look more like his old man every day.
Boy, there's nothing I love better than a white tablecloth.
And here we are back to civilization.
Well, we certainly learned a lot.
Didn't we, though?
All right, so we had a few problems. That's why we did it, to find the snags.
Well, we certainly found them, didn't we? I'll say.
Girls, do I get the impression that you're not as keen about camping as you used to be?
Well, I don't know about Kathy, but I'm as enthusiastic as ever.
You are.
Uh-huh. I think it's a group.
You do.
Yeah. But, for your sake, Papo, I really think we ought to go back to the beach this summer.
For my sake?
Well, I know how much you'd miss your deep sea fishing.
Please don't mention fish.
Patty, what about the mountains and the stately pines?
Well, I figure it this way, Mom. You've seen one tree, you've seen them all.
Well, I certainly would miss my deep sea fishing, but I wouldn't want to deprive the rest of you.
Please, deprive me.
Personally, I can't wait for a house full of sand.
I'm for the beach, too. Papo, I just got the greatest idea.
Yeah?
The first fish you catch, I'm gonna cook it.
Really?
Mm-hmm. I got this great recipe no Indian ever heard of.
Good.
You take the fish and you bury it in the sand.
No thanks.
And then you go to a hamburger stand.
Here's Kathy, who's lived most everywhere, from Zanzibar to Berkeley Square. The Patties only seen the sights a girl could see from Brooklyn Heights. What a crazy pair! But they're cousins, identical cousins, and you'll find they laugh alike, they walk alike, at times they even talk alike. You can lose your mind.
frank and honest opinion, what do you think of Doug Bailey?
Well, frankly and honestly, I think he's dull, boring, and completely impossible.
You're right. He never paid any attention to me either.
That's not the point.
Hey, something new's been added.
Exchange student program.
Wonder who we can exchange for him.
My, that would be exciting. Buenos Aires is the Paris of South America.
Maracas in the moonlight.
Flamencos to a mad guitar.
Dawn over the Andes.
And I understand there are 4 men to every woman.
That'd be heaven if a girl only got half her share.
It certainly sounds exciting.
Kathy, do you suppose... No, my family'd never let me go. Hey, but you could go.
Oh, I'm afraid my family wouldn't let me go either.
Well, they're in England.
No, I mean my family here.
Aren't you a little bit confused? The Lanes aren't your family.
Well, they certainly think of me as one of their own, and they wouldn't let me go any more than they'd let Patty go.
Oh, Kathy, don't be ridiculous. Of course they would. I mean, you're just a visitor.
Cynthia, that's silly.
One way to find out. Ask them.
I have a good mind to do that just to prove you're wrong.
I dare you to try it. You'll see I'm right. You know, my grandfather has a saying. After a few days, fish and visitors start to spoil.
Meet Kathy, who lived most everywhere, from Zanzibar to Berkeley Square. But Patty's only seen the sights a girl can see from Brooklyn Heights. What a crazy pair! Thought they're cousins, identical cousins all the way. One pair of matching bookends, different as night and day.
Where Kathy adores a minuet,
The ballet russe and crepe Suzette. Our Patty loves to rock and roll, the hot dog makes her lose control. What a wild duet! Still they're cousins, identical cousins, and you'll find they laugh alike, they walk alike, at times they even talk alike. You can lose your mind when cousins are 2 of a kind.
He'll be ready in a couple of minutes, Ross.
You said that an hour ago.
Well, I had a little trouble with the fire going out.
You know, if we'd done these in the kitchen on the broiler, we'd be finished eating by now.
You're the only kid I know who doesn't like charcoal broiled steaks.
Dad, it's the space age. Why put up with Stone Age cooking?
Steaks on! All right, everybody, let's go. Steaks on.
Coming, Sergeant.
Okay, now let's see. Natalie, medium well. Ross, well done. How do you eat them that way? And Kathy, charred on the outside, pink in the middle.
Thank you, Uncle Martin. You never forget, do you?
Oh, why would I forget, honey? You've been here long enough. See now, Patty and the chef, both medium.
Thanks, Papa.
Not well done enough.
Have you ever tried charcoal broiled charcoal?
Mine's perfect, Martin.
Mine, too.
How's yours, Kath?
Oh, fine, Uncle Martin. Thank you. What's the matter, Kathy? You're like in another world. Nothing, Patty. I was just thinking. About what? Well, I really don't know quite how to say this.
Well, you know there's nothing you can't tell us.
I know, but I wouldn't want you to misunderstand.
Well, the suspense is killing me, Kathy. What is it?
Well, I may have an opportunity to get an exchange scholarship. A scholarship? Where? Argentina.
Argentina?
Why would you want to go to Argentina? Well, I understand Buenos Aires is very exciting, like Rome or Madrid.
Yes, I've heard it's a very cosmopolitan city.
You mean too sophisticated?
Oh, well, not for you, honey. You've lived in big cities before.
Yeah, but Kathy'd be all alone down there. Not really, Patty. They'd put me with an Argentine family.
But they'd be strangers. You wouldn't know anyone.
Well, now, when Kathy came here, we were all strangers, too.
I never considered you strangers. Kathy, do you know how far Argentina is?
I know.
You mean too far for me to go?
Of course it's not too far.
Are you kidding, Papa?
Now, just a minute, everybody. Look, there's an atlas on my desk. Kathy, would you get it, and we'll find out exactly how far it is?
You don't need an atlas. I can tell you exactly how... Oh!
I'm sure you can.
My shin.
Oh, I'm sorry. Look, none of you seems to understand, but this is a big opportunity for Kathy, but she's got a conflict about it because she thinks we don't want her to go.
She's right. If Kathy leaves, I'll be devastated.
It would be like losing my own daughter.
Who'll help me with my homework?
Now, wait a minute. In the first place, she's not going yet. She's just thinking about it. And in the second place, if we're going to be fair to Kathy, we've got to let her decide this by herself. Don't you see that?
I don't think
she can't do this to me.
Martin.
I don't care about being fair.
Now, hold on. You just don't seem to understand. It's hard enough for Kathy to make a decision like this without your making it any harder.
What are we supposed to do? Be cheerful?
Exactly. That's what I want you to do. Be cheerful. In fact, we've got to convince her that we're happier about this than she is, no matter how we feel. Now,
I can't believe how far Argentina is. 5,300 miles.
well, that's only 10 or 11 hours by plane.
Yeah, sometimes it takes us that long to get across town.
I'll get it.
Well, as long as nobody minds my going.
You know we'll miss you.
I'll miss you too.
Well, you can come and visit us on your vacations.
Yes, I suppose so.
Let's face it, Kath, this is too big an opportunity for you to pass up.
Yes, it is, isn't it?
It's for you, Cap. Cynthia.
Well, how did we do?
Well, not bad, but we're going to have to do even better if we're going to convince her.
You won't believe this, Cynthia. Not only didn't they object to my leaving, they actually seemed quite cheerful about it. Yes, they didn't object at all. Isn't that wonderful? Well, of course. Oh, yes, I'm just so miserable I could die. Well, I thought they'd put up a little fuss. Oh, what can I do? I'll just go right downtown tomorrow after school and fill out an application. Well, of course I'll miss them, but we'll write. And you know something else, Cynthia? Your grandfather was right about visitors and fish. Hello.
Hi,
I'm Kathy Lane.
I'm Colette Dayute.
Well, it's nice to meet you.
Thank you. Are you going to Argentina?
Possibly. Are you?
Uh-huh, it's sort of a prize.
Oh, really? What for?
I won the Miss Teenage America contest.
Oh, well, congratulations. Tell me, did you have much trouble getting your parents' permission to go?
Oh, I'll say. For a while, I didn't think they were going to let me. What a fuss they put up.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Pardon?
Nothing.
Kathy Lane?
You certainly have a very good record.
Thank you. I'm going to love going to your country.
I think you will like Argentina.
Oh, I'm sure I'll love it. I've always wanted to go to Buenos Aires. The music, the fiestas.
Well, perhaps someday you will.
Someday?
What would be the point of sending you to Buenos Aires? It would be like sending you to Paris or Rome.
Is that bad?
No. But the purpose of this program is for you to absorb some of our native culture, our customs. You are going to Fin del Mundo.
Fin del Mundo? Where is that?
It's a small village high in the Andes, very colorful.
And very isolated.
Oh, very. You'll find it an ideal place to study. No distractions.
And no boy. I mean, no distractions at all.
Of course, Fin del Mundo has its boys. Fine boys in whose veins the blood of the conquistadores still boils.
Even at that altitude?
Naturally, your chaperone will be with you night and day to make sure they do not harm you.
Naturally.
Would you fill this in, please?
We gotta find something out about that place or she won't go there.
Listen to this. Argentina has some of the most colorful fiestas in South America.
That's not the kind of thing we're looking for. And will you please stop eating those potato chips and concentrate?
I'm using them to keep my place.
Uh-oh.
What's the matter?
This is about the courtship customs down there.
Yeah? Any pictures?
All I know is Kathy better watch her step. She gets A in math and science, but when it comes to men, that's a whole different story.
Yeah, but you got an A in biology, too.
So she can dissect a frog. What's biology got to do with men? Pretty complicated. Listen. When a girl wishes to show that she is single and available, she places a rose behind her right ear. If she places it behind her left ear,
She's available, but not single.
it means she's single, available, and interested. Now, if she drops the rose when she passes a boy, it means she's...
A butterfinger.
It means she's attracted to the boy and would welcome in advance. Oh, boy, I think Kathy's gonna be in big trouble down there.
I don't think so.
Why not?
She's allergic to roses.
Ross, will you fill your mouth with potato chips and keep reading?
Oh, hello, Martin.
Oh, hello, Martin. Whatever happened to the mad gay blonde who used to smother me with kisses at the door?
I'm sorry, dear. I guess I just haven't felt too gay since Kathy decided to leave us. Gee, do you remember how frightened and shy she was when she first came to us? My heart went out to her.
Oh, I know how you feel, Nat. I love her too, but this is something that she wants to do. This is something that's very important to her. We can't hold her back.
We got something that's gonna put out the fire.
Yeah.
Hey, whatever happened to hello, Dad, how's your game?
I'm sorry, Papa, but this is important. Listen, go ahead, Ross, read it.
Ross, why do you insist on using potato chips as bookmarks?
Listen. In some South American countries, the average lifespan of the native population is a mere 32 years.
Very interesting.
Papa, interesting. Don't you realize that Kathy's gonna be cut down in the prime of her life and it's gonna be our fault? Okay, look, if that doesn't impress you, listen to this. Quite often in South America, young girls are betrothed at the ages of 9 and 10 and married by the time they are 12 or 13.
Are the two of you really worried about Kathy's getting married?
Of course not. I'm worried about her being an old maid. By the time she gets there, all the 9 and 10-year-olds will be taken.
And just what do you intend to do with this choice bit of information?
Tell Kathy, of course.
Oh, no, you won't.
Papa, when a person runs across a choice piece of information like this, it's her duty to speak up.
And now look, the two of you, just sit down over here for a minute. Have a little talk about this. Now look, both of you love Kathy, right?
Of course we do.
Well, now then you certainly don't want to be millstones around her neck, do you?
No, sir.
All right. Now, Patty, one thing you're not is selfish. I mean, you're always giving your time to other people, extending yourself for them. Can you do less for Kathy?
No, Papa, I guess not.
Hey, wait a minute. I'm just as unselfish as she is.
Of course you are. But now here's the point. So far, we've done a pretty good job of convincing Kathy that she's free to go. But as the time for her to leave gets nearer, her doubts are going to get more intense. So we have to step up our efforts to make her feel that we're pleased she's going, that we're delighted, in fact.
You mean we have to bend over backwards to convince her?
Exactly.
Okay.
Good. How about you, son?
Well, I sure don't want to be a millstone.
That's my boy.
What's a millstone?
Hi, Kathy.
Hello, Uncle Martin.
Did you get your application filled out?
Yes, but you'll have to sign it to make it official.
Oh, what'd they say about your chances?
Very good.
Marvelous.
Uncle Martin, if you've changed your mind, it's not too late.
Changed my mind about what?
About my going.
Oh, of course not. I tell you, let me have the application. I'll sign it right now.
Uncle Martin? I'm not going to Buenos Aires, you know.
You're not?
No, I'm going to a little town called Fin del Mundo.
Oh, uh-huh.
It's actually not a town, it's a village. Do you know what Fin del Mundo means?
Oh, let's see. I used to be pretty good at Spanish. Fin means,
End.
End, right? And mundo means...
World.
End of the world. Gee, it sounds pretty isolated.
Oh, it is. It's way up in the mountains.
Ah, that's wonderful, because that's the way you get the real feel of the country.
Nobody speaks English.
Perfect. You know that's the only way to learn a foreign language. All right, there you are, honey. You should be pretty excited.
Oh, yes, I am. Terribly.
Hello, Kathy.
Hello, Aunt Natalie.
What's new?
Uncle Martin just signed my application for the scholarship.
Oh. How does it look?
Very encouraging.
Oh, marvelous.
Aunt Natalie.
Yes?
You shouldn't be doing that. It's my job.
Well, as long as you're leaving us, I better get used to doing it again.
Now, if my leaving is going to cause you any extra work, I won't go.
Nonsense, dear. As a matter of fact, with one less person in the house, there'll be less work for me.
Oh, yes, of course.
Hey, Cat. Come here a minute.
Yes, Ross, what is it?
Well, I don't want to get emotional about this, but we've been pretty close, haven't we?
Of course we have.
I mean, anything you want me to do, I'll do, right?
Well, yes, and the same goes for me. And, Ross, you know I'd do anything you want me not to go, to do.
You're definitely going to Argentina, aren't you?
I suppose, so far. Why?
I don't know if I should ask you this. It's awful big.
Is it about my going to Argentina?
Yeah.
Ross, ask.
Well, when you go, would you ask Dad if Patty and me can split your allowance?
Patty, are you in there? Yeah, Cass, can you squeeze through? Patty, what's happened to this place? Oh, I didn't think you'd notice. Oh, what is all this? Oh, I just redecorated. Redecorated? Yeah. I figure since I'm going to be here alone, I can really spread out. Would you like a soda? No, thank you. How about an ice cream cone with sprinkles? Patty, you never told me I was in the way.
Well, you're not in the way, Kathy. I've enjoyed crowding myself into this room to share it with you.
I crowded you? Oh, no, I didn't mean it that way. I thought we were like sisters.
Well, closer than sisters. But you want to go to Argentina, don't you?
Patty, what if I...
Yeah?
Nothing. Kathy, do you really... What, Patty? Nothing.
Dinner's ready, kids.
What were you going to say? Nothing, Kath. I know you'll love Argentina.
Anything besides bills, Kath?
Yes, notice to report from my medical examination.
Yeah, that's the last step before Argentina, isn't it?
Yes.
Well, as healthy as you are, the only thing that could stop you is an attack of gout.
Gout? That's ridiculous. You're too young.
Oh, really? Then perhaps I should tell you what happened when I got up this morning. I had a terrible crick in my back.
Right here?
That's the spot.
Me too. Sure hurts, doesn't it?
Yes.
You ever get a pain back here?
All the time.
What do you do for it?
Nothing.
That's the best thing. You'll have to live with it. Now, back to your medical history. Have you ever had the measles?
Yes.
Mumps?
Yes.
Whooping cough?
Yes.
Chicken pox?
Yes.
Beriberi?
Yes, yes.
Scurvy?
Yes.
Ishimoto syndrome?
Yes.
Well, that's all there is. You've had every disease there is on the list.
Oh, my. Does that eliminate me?
Oh, no. With your medical history, you should be immune to anything.
Splendid. Well, what?
When do we start the countdown?
Not for a couple of days. They'll send the official letter to Uncle Martin.
Oh, are you sure you passed?
Of course I passed. I've never been sick a day in my life.
Gee, that's tough.
You mean you don't want me to go?
Kathy, I hope you make out better in Spanish than you have in English. Tough means great.
Oh, I see.
Boy, you must be thrilled about passing, huh?
Oh, yes, yes. As a matter of fact, it's the toughest thing that's ever happened to me.
Martin!
On my way. What is it?
It's from the exchange program.
Oh, boy.
You don't suppose we could burn it?
Don't tempt me. Dear Mr. Lane, we regret to inform you that your niece, Catherine, has been rejected for the exchange student program.
Martin.
Her medical history shows a background of pellagra and...
Pellagra?
I never knew she had pellagra.
Martin, you're not going to believe this, but Kathy has never had pellagra.
You sure?
Of course I know her medical history like a book. Don't you see? She made it up.
Why?
Because she's got a bad case of you don't love me anymore.
Do you mean that all this time we've been trying to convince her that she was free to go, she's been trying to get us to...
Say that we love her too much to let her go.
Nat, that was marvelous.
Thank you, dear.
Hey, Dad, you want to hear a great riddle?
Sure.
What's green and flat and has 4 red wheels?
Our front lawn. You lied about the red wheels.
Kill that, Patty.
You have 2 choices for dessert, pie or coffee cake.
I certainly will miss your coffee cake, Aunt Natalie.
Yeah, but with all that coffee down there, they must have some coffee cake.
Ross, you've got the wrong country. Coffee comes from Brazil. I'm going to Argentina.
Oh, Kath,
Yes, Uncle Martin?
I hate to disappoint you, Kathy, but you're not going to Argentina.
What? You mean that, Papa?
No kidding?
Why not, Uncle Martin?
For a very simple reason. Because we'd all miss you too much.
He's right, to be empty without you.
Well, I was looking forward to it.
Well, I'm sorry about that, honey, but you mean too much to us.
You mean you won't let me go?
I absolutely forbid it.
Uncle Martin, you're not serious.
I am.
Isn't that being a bit selfish?
It is.
You're asking me to give up a marvelous opportunity.
I know it.
But you have no idea how I was looking forward to it.
Well, now, wait a minute. Maybe I'm wrong, and if I'm being pig-headed about it,
No, Uncle Martin, you've every right to be wrong and pig-headed. I mean, you're right. If you don't want me to go to Argentina, I'll make the sacrifice.
Good. Well, now that that's settled, how about dessert?
You have only to ask. What would you like?
I think I'll have a piece of pie.
Cake for me.
It's a celebration. I'll take both.
Kathy?
Nothing for me, thank you. I've had my dessert. What's going on?
I was just watching Doug Bailey, that dream.
Oh, really, Patty?
I think he's going to ask me for a date. He never stopped watching me all during history.
I think Doug Bailey is a perfect drop.
That's drip.
Well, either way, I wouldn't go out with him if he were the last person in the world.
Nobody's asking you to.
Hi, girls.
Hi, Doug. Hello, Doug.
Hey, Kath, you doing anything right now?
No, why?
I thought maybe we'd go over to the malt shop and get a soda.
I'd love to, Doug.
Terrific.
See you later, Patty.
Bye, Pat.
How do you like that? If I kept my big mouth shut, she'd be in Argentina by now.
Here's Kathy, who's lived most everywhere, from Zanzibar to Berkeley Square. The Patty's only seen the sights a girl can see from Brooklyn Heights. What a crazy pair, but they're cousins, identical cousins, and you'll find they laugh a lot. walk alike, at times they even talk alike. You can lose your mind when cousins are two of us.
It's on the shelf where you left it, dear.
Oh.
Hey, Papa. Didn't I hear you talking about Marie Antoinette last week?
Oh, yes, you did. Well, that's terribly expensive. Richard can never afford to take you there.
What are you talking about?
The French restaurant. What are you talking about?
I'm talking about the Queen of France who lost her head in the basket.
I'm glad you didn't bring that up before dinner.
What about Marie Antoinette?
Well, I have to write a term paper for history.
Oh, yes, history. I think you got a C on your midterm in that, didn't you?
Oh, what'd you say, Ma? I can't hear you.
She said you got a C in history, didn't you?
Heard her.
Let me tell you something, young lady. If your next paper is not outstanding, there'll be no dating for 2 weeks.
Papa,
Well, I'm sorry, but with the kind of grades you've been getting, you'll never get into a decent college.
is it fair to penalize me just because I don't have a head for old dates?
Do all right with young ones.
Patty, perhaps if you thought of it as a boy's phone number, it might help you. Like Robert Fulton, 1807. Henry Hudson, 1609. Marie Antoinette, 1789.
That's pretty good. I have a good head for phone numbers. Marie Antoinette, 1987.
You have dialed the wrong number.
I think you just phoned General de Gaulle.
Meet Kathy, who lived most everywhere, from Zanzibar to Berkeley Square. But Patty's only seen the sights a girl can see from Brooklyn Heights. What a crazy pair! But they're cousins, identical cousins all the way. One pair of matching bookends, different as night and day.
Where Kathy adores a minuet.
The ballet russe and crepe Suzette. Our Patty loves to rock and roll, the hot dog makes her lose control. What a wild duet, still they're cousins, identical cousins, and you'll find. They laugh alike, they walk alike, at times they even talk alike. You can lose your mind when cousins are two of a kind.
Hi, Patty.
Hi, Rich.
How about making the basketball game tonight?
I can't. I have to work on my term paper. My father says if I don't get better than a C in history, it's going to be home on the range for 2 weeks.
Gee, that's practically capital punishment. Oh, I've got Jim. I'll call you at home.
Okay.
Gee, I'm sorry. I didn't see you.
That's okay. Next time I'll put on my headlights.
Did I hurt you?
Not yet, but keep trying. That's yours. Thank you. Excuse me.
Yeah?
I think we got something a little mixed up here. That's yours, and this orange one is mine. And there you go. You know, you really ought to be more careful. You could hurt someone, including yourself. Goodbye.
Patty?
Hi, Ross.
You bumped into the brain.
Yeah, me with no collision insurance. What do you mean the brain?
Well, his IQ's so high, you need an oxygen mask to measure it. You know the type that's always correcting the teacher?
Oh, yeah.
But what can you expect? He's a transfer from Boston. He's in my history class.
History? And he's good at it?
Is he? I think he knows more about history than Charlton Heston.
Boy, he sounds like he's got real depth.
Don't tell me you're interested.
Oh, well, Roz, I feel it's our duty to make a newcomer feel welcome.
Pardon me. Is this seat taken?
Oh, it's you!
No, there's no one. Oh, let me help
Oh,
you.
thank you.
Sorry.
That's okay.
Did I hurt you?
I'm so glad I ran into you again because I wanted to apologize.
Let me take that.
Thank you. I really do want to apologize. It was so clumsy of me bumping into you like that this morning.
You didn't bump into me. I bumped into you.
Oh, now I know it's very nice of you to try and take the blame, but I won't have it. It was my fault. I distinctly remember bumping into you and then saying, how clumsy of me, and I never apologized to that interesting-looking boy.
Oh, that's all right. Me?
Yes. You're new here, aren't you?
Yeah, but I'm used to that. My father's a surgeon in the Army, so I've been in and out of lots of different schools.
Oh, my, isn't that exciting?
Did I get you?
No, that's all right. I had something in my eye anyway. That kind of washed it out. I guess you could say you really dig grapefruit.
It's very high in vitamin C, you know. You get 39 to 47 milligrams per 100 grams of grapefruit, which is 50% of your minimum daily requirement.
Is that right?
Most people don't know that.
No, you've got a wealth of information.
Well, I like to keep up on things, current events and so forth.
So do I. Of course, my big hang-up is history.
No kidding. History's my favorite subject. I'm going to major in it in college.
Isn't that a coincidence? Except I have one problem.
Oh? What's that?
I can't seem to remember things.
Oh.
Maybe it's because it all happened so long ago.
Well, that's what history is, you know.
You know what my biggest problem is? Writing about history. I have to do a term paper this weekend. Oh, boy, am I having trouble with it.
Well, listen, look, I'd be glad to help you.
Oh, no. One thing I never do is allow anyone to write my term papers.
I didn't mean I'd actually write it for you.
Oh.
But I'd be glad to discuss it with you and, kind of look over your outline.
Oh, that's great, because my biggest problem is outlines.
Anytime.
How about tonight?
Gee, sure.
Well, that's great. I'm glad I bumped into you. I knew you'd be an interesting boy. Is there any salt on the table?
Oh, yes, certainly.
Thank you.
Here. Oh, look what I did to your blouse.
Oh, that's okay. I was going to throw it away anyway. And the skirt, too. Whole crummy outfit. I can't tell you how much I appreciate your coming over.
Oh, no problem. I was glad to.
Good.
Shall we get started?
Oh, well, sure. Now, here's the typewriter, and here's some typewriter paper. Do we need anything else?
How about your outline?
Outline?
You said you made an outline for your paper.
Oh, the outline. Yeah, I'll go get it.
Patty,
Yes,
can I ask you a question?
of course.
Who's this fellow Richard I always see hanging around you?
Richard?
Yeah.
Oh, Richard. Oh, he's just a friend of the family's.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I'll be right back.
Nat, how long are we supposed to stay in here anyway?
Till Patty tells us we can come out.
Maybe I better look and see if she's left some bread and water outside.
She says he's very shy.
Who is he anyway?
Oh, he's a new boy in school. Patty's helping him to adjust.
Hi there.
Is that the outline?
Yeah.
I thought I'd type.
Oh, good. Why don't you type?
Oh, okay.
Because typing is one of my drawbacks.
Let's hear what you've got.
The French Revolution. That's what I call it.
Oh, all right.
Okay. Now, I think it should be broken down to 4 main parts.
Uh-huh.
How about starting with the causes of the revolution?
That's a good place to start.
Well, because if there weren't any causes, there wouldn't have been any revolution.
Number 1, the causes.
Right.
What have you got next?
Well, I can't seem to figure out what number 2 should be.
Well, it could be the beginning of the revolution or the acts of the assembly.
Yeah, but then I can't figure out which should be second and which should be third.
Suppose we make the beginning of the revolution second and the acts of the assembly third.
Very good. Put it down just the way I said it. Number 4. Number 4. You know, Henry, that's the most difficult decision of all.
Well, it could be the formation of the National Assembly or the Reign of Terror. Either one's pretty good.
Yeah, but that's what makes it so difficult to decide. I'll tell you what, put them both down. Well, there's the outline. It went much faster than I thought it would. Now all I have to do is, excuse me.
Hi, Patty.
Hi, Rich.
Thought I'd stop in for a while.
Good. My father's waiting for you in the den.
Your father?
Yeah, he's got the chessboard all set up. Papa, Richard's here to see you.
Hi, Mr. Lane. Mrs. Lane?
Hello, Richard.
What is it, Richard?
What is what?
You wanted to see me?
I thought you wanted to see me.
Well, it's always nice to see you, Richard.
Patty said something about having the chessboard set up.
Chess? Oh. You want to play some chess?
I'd love to. In fact, I always wanted to learn how to play chess.
You do read, don't you?
There's the outline.
That's great.
Shall we start roughing out some of the details?
Yeah, sure. I never believe in putting anything off.
Okay. Go ahead.
What kind of detail did you have in mind?
You know, where we have causes, we rough out some of the principal causes.
Oh, that's what I was going to suggest. Okay, the causes. The primary cause of the French Revolution was, let me see now, how shall I put this?
Are you trying to say that the system of taxation was very unfair to the lower and middle classes?
Yeah, that's the general idea, but I wanted to put it a different way. I know, put this down. The system of taxation was very unfair to the lower and middle classes.
That's what I just said.
Oh, you see? I guess that's why they say history repeats itself. Time to be taking a shower. I believe in clean living. What's new, Kath, besides ho, ho, ho? What's more important, what have you been up to? What do you mean? Nothing. Kathy, if you've got something on your mind, I'd rather you got it off. Well, I was wondering, is that boy who was at our house last night helping you with your history paper? Whatever gave you that idea? Well, I heard today that he's very good in history, and I just put 2 and 2 together. Well, you didn't get 4. He's helping me with my history outline, and I'm helping him to adjust. And believe me, my job is much harder than his.
Patty!
Kathy, don't you have to run along to your class now? I don't have anything this period. Oh, well, I do. Excuse me. Hi, Henry.
Say, I really enjoyed working with you.
Yeah, you certainly were a big help in crystallizing my thinking. Would you like to come by tonight and help me crystallize some more?
Gee, I'd like to. But my mother and father are going to a meeting at the hospital tonight, and I've got to stay home and babysit my kid brother.
Gee, that's too bad. We're already halfway through.
Yeah. I know what. As long as I've got to stay home anyhow, why don't I go ahead and do the second half?
Oh, no, I couldn't let you do that.
Why not? I've got all my assignments done for the next 2 weeks.
Well, if you insist, but I want to remind you of one thing. Every piece of work I hand in will be my own.
Oh, of course. I just meant I was going to make some rough notes for you to look over.
Okay.
What are you going to do tonight?
Well, I guess I'll go to bed early because I'm going to have a terrible headache.
How can you tell that now?
Whenever I work on a term paper, I get a terrible headache.
Hi, Patty.
Hi, Rich.
I think I'd better run. Bye.
Bye, Henry.
What's with you and that guy anyway?
Nothing. He's new here, and I'm helping him to adjust.
Adjust?
Yeah. I feel so sorry for him. He's been in and out of hospitals.
Looks like he's in good health to me.
You see, it's all internal. They can't seem to put their finger on it.
Oh. Did you finish your history paper?
No, not yet.
Oh, if you don't have to go home and work on it, I thought we could go to the movies tonight.
I'd love to go to a movie.
But what about your history paper?
Believe me, it's in great shape. And really, I must get out from under this mental strain. Be with you in a second.
No rush. The feature doesn't start for an hour.
Great.
Hi, Patty. Remember me? Henry.
Oh, did you think I was Patty?
Aren't you?
Didn't she tell you
Who? Tell me what?
that she has a cousin, Kathy?
No.
Oh, well, I'm Kathy, and I'm terribly sorry that you don't know where Patty is, and there's no point of you waiting around.
But I've got her history paper all finished.
Oh! Oh, well, you wait right there. I just remembered where Patty is.
Who was that?
Somebody for Kathy.
Oh, where is she?
At the library. Rich, I just got this terrible headache from not eating and doing schoolwork. Would you please make me some hamburgers?
Well, why can't we get them when we go out?
Because nobody in the world makes hamburgers like you do.
That's only when I barbecue.
Well, there's some barbecue sauce in the kitchen. Please, Rich.
Where are you going?
I'll be right back. The meat is in the refrigerator. Hi, Henry. What a surprise. I'm sorry to have kept you waiting, but I was upstairs. Won't you come in?
Oh, thank you. That girl with the English accent's your cousin, huh?
Yeah. Isn't she cute? I thought you were babysitting.
Oh, my dad's coming down with a cold, so they decided not to go.
Oh.
I thought you'd want to look over your term paper. I just finished it.
What do you mean, finished it?
Well, you know, finished roughing it out.
Oh. Boy, you do a pretty neat job of roughing it out.
Glad you like it.
I'll tell you what, Henry. I'll read it over tonight, and we'll talk about it tomorrow.
Why don't you look it over now? Then if you want to make any changes, we can do it tonight.
Hey, Patty, where's the barbecue sauce?
Who's that?
That?
That guy who's yelling for barbecue sauce.
Oh, that. That's Kathy's boyfriend. He's making some hamburgers for them.
And she doesn't know where the barbecue sauce is?
Well, she only just came over from England. Excuse me.
Oh, see if they have an extra. I'm starved.
Oh, okay. Hey, look, while I'm gone, why don't you read that over and give me your honest opinion?
But I wrote it.
Oh, yeah. Okay, well then, why don't you read it over for spelling? Be right back. Here.
How do they look?
Oh, yummy. Look, I'm gonna leave that door closed because I don't want you to smoke up the house. Oh.
Boy, that smells good.
Henry, why don't you go out and get a couple of hamburgers?
Why don't we eat with them?
Oh, they only have enough for two.
Come and get it!
Oh, I better tell Kathy they're ready.
Isn't she in there with him?
Well, yeah, but she doesn't hear very well. Ever since she flew from England, the altitude, you know. I'll be right back.
Here you are, Patty. Sit down and dig in.
That's great.
What's the matter?
Need salt.
Well, here.
I like the salt in the living room better.
Salt? The living room?
Oh, Henry, you know that headache I told you I was going to have?
Yeah?
I just got it.
Oh, gee, that's too bad.
Yeah, I think maybe I better go up and lie down.
Oh. Well, I'll leave this here, and you can look it over when you feel better.
Okay. Bye. Oh, hello.
Are there three of you?
I beg your pardon.
Who are you?
I'm Kathy.
I thought you were in the kitchen getting a hamburger.
Oh, you must have me confused with Patty.
I think I've got Patty confused with Patty.
I know you. You're Henry, the boy who's been so ill.
Huh?
Patty told me about you. You've been in and out of so many hospitals. I do hope you're feeling better.
I'm okay.
Well, that's good. You'll have no trouble at all adjusting to Brooklyn Heights High, especially with Patty helping you.
Patty is helping me?
She said she made excellent progress with you last night.
Oh, she did she?
Well, this is a great idea, Patty. And we still got time for the movies.
Mm-hmm.
Would you give Patty something for me?
Certainly.
Patty, leave those papers alone.
I can't, Papa. I need them. I have Rev and Ross has Shine. All I need is Olu and I'll have Revolution.
We're going to have a revolution of our own right here. I just ran into Richard, and he told me what happened.
I don't know why Henry got so upset. He just isn't adjusted yet.
Ross,
Clear out.
Why? You let her listen when you're bawling me out.
Ross.
I'm going.
Now, Papa, I know what you're going to say.
No, you don't, because I don't know what I'm going to say myself. Now, Patty, maybe I have been putting too much pressure on you. But getting someone else to do your work is not the way to get a better grade.
He wasn't going to do my work. He just helped me rough it out, and I was going to smooth it out myself and hand it in.
And you weren't taking advantage of him, of his knowledge?
Well, he insisted on helping me rough it out. Papa, haven't you told me that the worst thing in the world one human being can do to another is be unkind?
Oh, Patty.
You're right, Papa. I took advantage of him. Well, I guess I'd better get to work on that paper.
Patty, your own self-respect and the respect of other people is worth a lot more than any grade. Now, you know that.
Yeah, I guess I should.
You just stand on your own 2 feet. Hit or miss, right or wrong. And if you do your best, that's good enough for me.
I thought you were going to be a lot madder than you are.
Well, to tell you the truth, I guess I was a lot madder than I am.
See you later. Oh, boy, if only I could remember those 5 main points. Let's see, the first one was... Patty, don't tense up. It will come to you. I just can't think. I'm so nervous. That movie didn't unwind me at all. What movie? You and Richard didn't see a movie. See how nervous I am? Patty, why don't you turn on the telly? Perhaps that will relax you. Hey, it's a pretty good idea. I think I will.
The people have decided, monsieur. You are to be taken to the guillotine.
Well, what do you know? Oh, Kathy, do you have me that pad over there, please?
Oh, hi, Patty.
Hi, Rich.
How'd you do in your term paper?
I just handed it in. I was up all night watching it. Writing it.
What?
Well, there was this movie on last night with Tony Curtis about the French Revolution, and it kind of sparked me.
Oh, that's a break. I hope you didn't put any of the commercials in your paper.
Oh, Patty. I wanted to apologize. That was a dumb thing I did, ripping up that paper. I'm sorry.
That's okay, Henry.
No, it isn't. You were depending on me, and, well, I went home and wrote the whole thing up again.
You did?
Yeah. Here. You can hand it in just the way it is. I'll see you around.
Hey, how about that?
Yeah, how about that?
Hey, let me see that. Boy, this stuff reads pretty good.
You know, Rich, if I had handed that in, it'd be a definite A. Mine's a possible C. I sure would like an A in history.
Yeah.
I know what my father would like. Hi, Mr. McDonald.
Hi, Mr. McDonald.
Where are you going with that?
There's nobody in the room. I'll switch papers for you.
No!
Why not?
Just let me think about it a minute.
Patty, there isn't time. You gotta make up your mind right now.
Richard, which would you rather do? Get an A in history or earn your father's respect?
Are you kidding?
You mean you'd rather get an A?
Heck no, Patty.
Thanks, Rich. You helped me make up my mind.
Patty, I must say I'm proud of you.
It really shows what you can do if you really try.
Listen to what the teacher wrote in the margin. Excellent organization, main points well thought out, very dramatic, unfolds scene by scene. See, it really pays to do your own work. Now, that boy's paper, even though he's an excellent student, probably doesn't have your flair for the dramatic.
Yeah, I guess you're right, Papa.
What's this other comment the teacher wrote?
Where?
To my knowledge, Tony Curtis did not participate in the French Revolution.
What a crazy pair, but they're cousins, identical cousins, and you'll find they laugh alike, they walk alike, at times they even talk alike. You can lose your mind when cousins are two of a kind.
Four cuddly creatures with that beautiful hair. Not the dog act, Richard, the singing group. Patty. Yeah.
Do you suppose I might use the phone for a moment,
Oh,
dear?
sure, Mom. I'll just say goodbye to Richard. Rich, I gotta hang up. My mother wants to use the phone. What do you mean, an excuse? I wouldn't use my mother as an excuse. And what? I am not expecting a call from Jerry. Jerry's dating Susan, anyway. He's not? When did that happen?
When you're finished saying goodbye, let me know.
No kidding. Who is he dating?
Well, what's it going to be? Football or bridge?
I don't know yet, Jim. I still haven't been able to get through to Natalie to find out if the Ralstons are coming tonight.
You mean that your phone has actually been busy for over an hour?
Yeah.
Well, why don't you give it one more try before I have to give these tickets to somebody else?
Well, I doubt if I'll get through.
That's no attitude, Martin. Use a little positive thinking.
Okay, I'm positive I won't get through, but I'll try anyway.
Okay, Rich. Bye. Mom, I hung up.
I can't believe it. You're not really off the phone.
I wasn't on the phone that much today. Hello? Oh, hi, Joni. Joni, I can't talk to you now. My mother wants to use the phone. Hey, well, what did I tell you about Jerry not dating Susan anymore?
I guess it's no use.
Struck out again, huh?
Well, now I know why it's so quiet when I get home. Everybody's exhausted from a full day on the phone.
You know, I used to have that same problem with my family. Then one day I attached something to the phone and nobody went near it since.
A lock?
A matched set of snarling police dogs.
That's funny.
Well, I guess I better be going. Gee, I'm sorry about you not coming to the game.
Oh, don't feel sorry for me. I got a lot of sports at home. I mean, after all, I've got a house full of star athletes.
You do?
Sure, every one of them's an Olympic freestyle talking champion.
Honestly, Ellen, you wouldn't believe the dress Linda had on. She looked like a kangaroo.
Patty,
Yeah, Mom?
do you realize how long I've been trying to call your father to tell him the Ralstons are not coming?
Well, you should have said something.
I did, several times.
Oh, look, I have to hang up now, Ellen, so I can't tell you about Linda's dress, but I mean, are you ready for polka dot sleeves?
Tricia.
Bye, Ellen. Well, Mom, I'm sorry, but you know my girlfriends, when they get on a talking jag, you just can't shut them up.
Natalie, put the phone down.
Why, Martin?
Now, I want to ask you a question. Just one question. Are the Ralstons coming here for bridge tonight?
No.
Do you mean then that I could have gone to that football game with Jim and you didn't call me?
Well, Martin,
and you couldn't get off of that phone long enough to let me get through to you? Natalie, I'm surprised that you'd be that inconsiderate.
Hold it, Mouse. Now, wait a minute. You had the phone all day.
I have not.
That's what you always say, so this time I kept count. Debbie, Richard, Joan, Sal, Richard, Shelley, Jane, Marge.
Kathy!
Come on.
Hey,
now,
Kathy!
cut it out, Kathy. I've
Come
been
on,
waiting all
that's
day.
great.
You saying?
You're always on the phone.
Well, I hope you'll forgive me, honey, but if you don't, I take a size 15.5 noose.
Meet Kathy, who lived most everywhere, from Zanzibar to Berkeley Square. But Patty's only seen the sights a girl can see from Brooklyn Heights. What a crazy pair! But they're cousins, identical cousins all the way. One pair of matching bookends, different as night and day.
Where Kathy adores a minuet.
The ballet russe and crepe Suzette are Patty loves to rock and roll. The hot dog makes her lose control. What a wild duet! Still they're cousins, identical cousins, and you'll find they laugh alike, they walk alike, at times they even talk alike. You can lose your mind when cousins
okay, but I'd rather have Miss Brandel any day for History 5. She doesn't give homework on weekends.
Oh, no. Patty, will you do us a favor and let us have the phone?
Ross, will you please?
Dad, how long has Patty been on the phone?
Patty? I thought it was Kathy.
What do you mean you have to hang up? Well, yeah, I know, but can't you talk for about 2 more minutes? Okay. Yeah. All right, I'll talk to you later. Bye. Here, Ross, don't say I never did anything for you.
Thanks. Hello? That's funny.
What's funny?
It's for you.
For me? Here? Yeah. Well, wonders never cease. Hello? Oh, yeah, Jim. What do you mean we lost the Beckett story? I told you to offer him $1,000 for it. They offered him $1,200. Well, I would have gone to 15. Why didn't you phone me? You tried? Yeah, Jim. Now, I feel just as bad about it as you do. But believe me, Jim, this will never happen again.
Thanks, Dad.
No more calls, son.
Why not?
We have a little problem with this phone.
No, there isn't. We've been using it all day.
That's the problem.
Oh.
I'm going to solve it right now. Patty? Kathy? This may strike all of you as an odd question, but I'd appreciate an honest answer. Now, here's a question. How many real friends does each one of you have?
What has that got to do with anything?
Never mind. Just answer the question. Ross?
Oh, that's easy. Eddie, Harold, Chuck, and Danny.
All right, that's 4 for you. Kathy?
Real friends. Oh, I'd say about 6.
6. Thank you, Kathy. Patty?
Well, let's see now. There's Betty. She's really a great friend. Except you can't trust her. Oh, I know. There's Sally. She's the best friend in the whole world. She's really sincere and honest. Except she was flirting with Richard last week. I know. There's my greatest friend, Ellen Barton. That's Burton. Okay. Then there's Edith, Joanne, and Gladys,
Patty.
and Marilyn,
Patty,
and Joanne.
Patty, I'm talking about true friends. People whom you are very fond of who also like and respect you. How many?
2.
Let's see now. Among the 3 of you, that makes a total of 12 friends. All right, now here's the rule. For each friend, you get 5 minutes on the phone, which makes a total of 60 minutes of phone calls each day, but you can only make those calls between 7 and 8 p.m. Yeah, and you can start on that tomorrow, because you've all had your full quota of phone calls for today. Now, is that understood?
Oh, boy.
I guess so.
Okay. Patty, what are you doing? Didn't you hear what I just said?
Sure I did, Papa. I'm just calling my friends and telling them I can't call them anymore.
Well, that happened to me, too. Boy, it's really...
Who are you going to call? I know. I'll call Helen Perkins. I haven't talked to her in a long time. Naturally not. She moved to California over a year ago. Come on, Kathy. I only have 3 minutes. You have to help me. Patty, you saw all your friends at school today. Do you really have to use the phone tonight? Of course. I have 10 minutes coming to me, and I'm going to use them whether I have to talk to strangers.
Patty, you gotta help me. It's a matter of life and death.
What is it?
Lend me one of your calls.
Lend you one of my calls? Why?
Well, I never get to talk to Danny.
What happened?
Well, I talked 5 minutes each with Eddie, Harold, and Chuck. Then I dialed information for Danny's number.
So?
So Dad counted that as my 4th and final phone call.
What?
Yeah, he's drunk with power. I think it's time for a revolution.
Now, Ross, wait a minute. I know it doesn't quite seem fair, but after all, we did agree to Uncle Martin's system.
Patty, it's Richard.
Oh, okay. Kathy's right, Ross. This is a democracy, and we have to learn to abide by the rules. Otherwise, everybody'd be running around like a bunch of animals. Thanks, Papa.
How do you like that? She's on Dad's side.
She's been known to before.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Yeah, it's one thing you can say about Patty. She's undependable.
I wouldn't say that, Ross. Perhaps she's just looking at things more clearly now.
Ross, you're absolutely right. It's time for a revolution.
Huh? Well, what about the democracy routine?
When Papa started limiting our outgoing calls, that was democracy. But when he started limiting our incoming calls, then it's time to muster our defenses and counterattack. Goodbye, Richard. Hi there. May I talk to you for a moment?
So long as it's not by phone. What's on your mind?
Well, Papa, Kathy and Ross and I have been talking, and we've decided that this new phone system is a real hang-up.
Oh, well, that's the object, honey. To get you kids to hang up.
Hang up, that's pretty funny, Papa. That's a real gas. Hang up, hang up.
Patty.
Yeah.
What do you want?
Well, Kathy and Ross and I think that we have a better system.
Oh, go ahead.
Well, we'd like to get a phone of our own and pay for it out of our own allowances.
Oh, that's a wonderful idea.
Now, you don't have to answer yes or no right now. You just... You mean it's okay?
So long as you're willing to pay the monthly bill yourself, certainly.
Oh, thanks, Papa.
Yeah, now, just one thing. What about the $20 deposit?
A $20 deposit.
Oh, well, the phone company requires a $20 deposit for security before they'll install a phone.
Do you mean to tell me that the telephone company doesn't trust you enough to give you a phone without...
They trust me. It's you they don't trust. See, and it's going to be your telephone.
Well, you trust us, don't you, Papa?
Of course.
Will you lend us $20?
I have a better idea. Why don't you earn the $20?
You mean get a job?
Patty, some of our best citizens have jobs. I mean, the President of the United States works for a living.
Okay, Papa. First thing tomorrow morning, I'll get a job. And work for a living.
Leave that dial alone.
Hi, Papa.
I have been trying to call this house all day. Now, who's been on that phone since 11 o'clock?
I have, and it was 10:30.
All right, 10:30. What happened to all that brave talk about going out and looking for a job to pay for a second phone?
I did get a job.
You did?
Uh-huh. First thing this morning.
Well, what were you doing on the telephone all morning?
That's my job. I'm a telephone saleswoman. Isn't it a gas, Papa? All these years you thought I was wasting my time on the telephone, and I was preparing for a career.
You're selling on the telephone?
Uh-huh. This. Isn't it something, Papa?
It's something, but what is it?
It's called a jet set reducing belt. Now, you just plug it in. Would you plug it in for me, please? You plug it in, and you attach it with this easy safety hook, and then you set the dial to the desired speed, and then you switch it on, and instantly the dynamo vibrators start massaging away the extra fat.
Okay, what?
All I have to do is sell one of these, and I'll get my $20.
But Patty.
Papa, I'm afraid I can't talk to you anymore. When your voice is your fortune, every syllable counts. Hi, dear.
Hello, Nat. You're looking at a man who's created a monster. Do you suppose that jet set reducing belt would work in my big fat mouth?
Oh, I don't think it's that bad. Kathy's calling prospects from a payphone, and Ross is using the phone at Eddie's.
These kids will put me in a basket.
Of course, you could break down and pay for the phone yourself.
Oh, no. If I did that, the next thing they talk me into is an answering service.
Hello there, Mrs. Mallory. This is Patricia Lane. May I talk to you woman to woman for a moment? Well, thank you. Mrs. Mallory, as we go through life, growing up, getting married, having families, what is it we girls miss most? It's our girlish figures, isn't it, Mrs. Mallory? Well, my company has found a surefire way to bring back our girlish figures. It's called the Easy Way Jet Set Reducing Belt. You just tie... What, Mrs. Mallory? Oh, I see. You're underway. Well, that's too bad, Mrs. Mallory. You're missing a marvelous bargain. Hello, Mrs. Strick. I'm calling you about the Jet Set Reducing Belt. You've heard of it, of course.
Of course.
Of course. You have?
That's the one with the money-back guarantee, isn't it?
Yes, that's right. Now, if you'd like to have a demonstration...
I don't need a demonstration, young lady.
You mean you'd like us to bring you one?
No, I'd like you to bring the cash, and I'll give you back the one I bought 6 months ago. I'm not happy with it at all. In the first place, it tickles too much. And in the second place, I haven't lost a single pound.
May I speak to Mrs. Spring, please?
She's not home, mister.
Oh. Well, is there anybody there but you?
Yes?
Is it somebody who's overweight?
Oh, yes. He's very heavy.
May I speak to him, please?
Just a minute.
Hey, Eddie, I got a live one.
You can speak to him now, mister.
Smart Alec. You know, there ought to be a law against letting little kids use the phone.
Hattie. Oh, hi, Cap. How you doing? Oh, I made 12 calls from 3 different pay booths. Any results? Oh, yes. I ran out of dimes. We better sell a belt sooner. We're not even going to break even. 20 cents? I still have dozens of people on my list. Okay. Guess we may as well go whole hog. Poor little piggy. Hi, Mom.
Hi, honey.
What are you doing?
Making canopies for the bridge party tonight.
Oh.
How's it going?
Very smoothly.
Good.
Yep. I made 100 calls and got 100 turndowns. You know, Mom, I've always liked you in that dress.
Why, thank you, dear.
I mean, you really look beautiful in it. But I thought you were going to have it let out.
I did have it let out.
Oh, that's right. It's supposed to be tight around the waist.
No, it's supposed to be loose around the waist.
Of course. What am I thinking of?
I'd say you were thinking of trying to con me into buying one of your reducing belts.
101.
What do you suppose has happened to the Ralstons?
I don't know. It's not like Jack and Harriet to be late. Not without calling.
Oh, and I've had plenty of opportunity. I mean, nobody uses a phone around this house.
Maybe you ought to call them.
Well, if I can get Patty off the phone, that's like trying to separate a tigress from her cub.
But, Madam, this is the greatest invention since the Turkish bath. It actually makes it fun to be overweight. Oh, I see. Well, thank you. Goodbye.
Excuse me, Patty, I have to make a call.
Is it a business call?
What?
Sorry, Papa. I lost my head. Hello? Yes, this is Patricia Lane. Oh, yes, Mrs. Simpson. I did leave a message. Well, I represent the Jet Set Reducing Belt, and I would like to give... You do? Oh. Well, yes, good luck to you, too. Goodbye. How do you like that? She sells reducing belts, too. Small world.
Oh, everybody's selling reducing belts. It'll be a small, skinny world.
Only I could meet some nice, overweight lady face to face.
Hello, Marty.
Hi, Jack.
Sorry we're late, but you know how long it takes women to dress.
Especially me.
Patty? Patty?
Yes, Papa?
Patty, I'd like you to meet the Ralstons. This is our daughter, Patty.
Hi.
Hi.
Nice to meet you.
You too.
Hello, Patty.
Hello, Mr. Ralston.
Hi, Jack.
Hello, now.
Hi, Harriet. Nice to see you. My dear, I thought you'd never get here. Well, shall we go in and get started?
Right.
Well, Mother called just as we were leaving. That's
Oh,
one of-
tell her I said hello, will you?
Will do.
Hey, why don't Natalie and I pay our losses now and avoid the last-minute rush?
Tired of getting your lumps, huh?
Well, let's just say if you beat us again, you can take us home and put us on the mantelpiece.
Harriet?
Oh, they all look so good.
Harriet?
Yes, dear. None for me, Natalie.
Oh, come on, Harriet. You can eat just one of these.
Natalie, that's my problem. I can never eat one of anything. I don't know. Some people can eat and stay thin. I wish I knew the secret.
Eddie, this jet set will melt the weight off you just like that. I don't want to lose any weight. I want to be a professional football player when I grow up. Jockeys make more money.
A diamond.
One heart.
Spade.
I bid, is that you're eating?
Oh, club sandwich.
Oh, boy, does that look good.
Come on, Harriet, it's your bid.
Oh, well, I bid 2 club sandwiches. Oh, I'm sorry. I meant 2 clubs. Guess where my mind is.
Feel like a rocket on the launching pad. Okay. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Blast off! I'm in orbit. Okay, then. Let's shoot for the moon. Oh, hey, slow it up. Ooh, ooh. Hey, ooh, ooh. Ow, it's getting hot. Hey, look, I'm on fire. Get me out of here. Okay, it's fine, it's fine. Come on. What happened? Oh, let's get the same problem you do. A screw loose. We'll go get a screwdriver and have him fixed in no time. Come on. I don't want to be skinny. It's too dangerous.
Well, I think this little card...
What's the matter, Harriet?
Patty? Me? Certainly can put it away.
Well, I have to have something to tide me over between dinner and my cookies and milk before bed.
Well, how do you keep that figure?
Well,
I'd give $1 million to know your secret.
Mrs. Ralston, if a certain person would let me, I could tell you my secret for a lot less than $1 million. Oh, thanks, Papa. Don't go away. I'll be right back. Here we are, Mrs. Ralston. The Jet Set Reducing Belt.
Is that your secret, Patty?
Uh-huh. You merely attach it with this no-fuss jiffy hook, and then you dial the vibro massage for the desired massage strength, and you flip the switch, and instantly the dyno vibrator starts massaging away unwanted pounds.
Well, how interesting.
Now, if you wish to adjust the vibrator massage, you merely turn the dial from mild to medium, and then you can go about your daily household chores dynamically, scientifically, and pleasantly.
Well, how does it feel?
Oh, believe me, Mrs. Ralston, the faster you lose those pounds, the better you'll feel. Now, if I adjust it to high, I feel like flying.
Is it soothing?
Soothing, Mrs. Ralston. If I put it up to super high, I feel like dancing.
Patty, is anything wrong?
No, Ma, nothing's wrong.
Well, I must admit, I feel like buying one, Patty. But are you absolutely positive there's no discomfort?
Why, it's the most comfortable thing in the world.
You smell smoke?
Yeah.
I smell it too.
It's coming from the bell.
No, don't panic. That's just the fat burning up.
Hey, Patty, that thing needs fixing.
Pull the plug.
Martin, do something. Patty, are you all right?
Get that thing off you. Patty, now I know how desperate you are to make a sale, but you can use my phone anytime you want if you'll just promise never to put this thing on again.
Okay. Besides, I really don't need the phone anyway. We can use this thing to send up smoke signals. No, Clara. There's no need to hang up. I still have 4 minutes on this telephone. I know.
Hi.
Hi.
Looks like a lineup at the box office, doesn't it?
For a problem play entitled, Oh, Dad, Poor Dad, If We Don't Hang Up the Phone, He'll Really Be Mad.
Oh, not me. I've solved the problem.
You have?
Follow me. I must admit, I got the idea for this from watching old whodunits on the Late Late Show.
Oh, for Pete's sake.
No, for Martin's sake. That's my own private phone for my own personal use. Nobody knows about it. It's only been in the house since this morning, and believe me...
Excuse me. Hello? Hi, Rich. Yeah, I know the other phone is busy. Well, you know Ross and Kathy, when they start jabbering. Do you know who they got? Some lady in Colorado. We each had 15 minutes. Hello?
Kathy, who's lived most everywhere, from Zanzibar to Berkeley Square. The Patties only sing the sights a girl can see from Brooklyn Heights. What a crazy pair, but they're cousins, identical cousins, and you'll find they laugh alike, they walk alike, at times they even talk alike. You can lose your mind when cousins